Yo, yo.
Yo.
Matt just reminded me to tell you it's Dean's 100th race tonight.
I know. I know.
Imagine doing 100 fucking races and still being that shit.
It's a good thing we're not live.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Hey, I've got 80 subscribers now on my channel. Sick.
How many?
80.
80, that's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad so far.
I'll subscribe to it sometime.
Thanks.
Are you subscribed to Audio Sport channel?
Don't think
Probably
so.
not. I think there's only about 3 subscribers on the whole fucking thing.
You don't really get it out much though, do you?
Do you know what, Dan? I'm so busy. I think I'm really kind of keen with social media, and I think I know the benefits of like Instagram and YouTube and so on and so forth, and it will do the business the world of good. I just don't have fucking time. You know?
Well, I've been thinking of changing my life careers.
Oh yeah. To what?
Thinking about going back to college.
Okay. To do media? Right.
Media, yeah.
Okay. Are you thinking of doing that in conjunction with working for a living?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, you're going to do evening classes to start with, yeah?
I think so. I've got to see what courses are available first, you know. It depends. If I can work for someone who can help me do media studies at the same time, then sure, yeah, you know, that'd be great. But
Yeah.
who knows? I haven't really thought it through. I just had a couple of days at work recently where things just been a bit not great, and I've just been a bit like, I might want to change what I do. You know?
Right. Well, I as your father, I would be also keen for you to, you know, follow what you're interested in and make that break. I would also err on the side of caution and remember you do have to earn a living, you know, and you just need to do it smart.
I'm not going to leave myself not with a job.
Yeah,
you're
not going to quit your job and you know, buy a camcorder and say I'm a media expert, you know. But it's
like looking at possible opportunities elsewhere than just screen printing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're going to struggle to get much further in screen printing than
that's
like
what I've
going
come
for your
to.
own business, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So.
You know, the setup involved in that is huge, isn't it? You know, so it's not realistic that, you know, starting your own business as a screen printer, and I don't know if your heart's in it anymore, you know?
I just don't enjoy where I work, and it's just not a lot of what's down here, you know. So
Yeah. But as I said, you know, you gotta play it smart. You know what I mean? You got to play it smart, and you know, and I mean, I did something very similar with fiberglass. You know, I wanted to learn something, and I kind of took a career path to learn what I wanted to learn. You know.
Well, I wanted what I wanted. Don't have mine. Oh, for fuck's sake!
What's the matter?
Smoky Devil doesn't have a setup thing. An invite.
Right. Have you got him? Is there something I can do?
Not yet. Hang on. I've got to call Matt.
Okay.
Hello. Smokey says he ain't got a setup. Invite. What do I do?
Mickey?
No, Smokey.
Right, tell him to restart his PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or, tell you what you could do for the first bit, you could back out now before we've even started, and come back in, or tell him to just restart his PlayStation, should have it then.
Right, I'll tell him that.
Alright, right. I'll keep you there actually for the time being, so I can tell you when you're live.
Alright, hang on. 3...
Smith, they're not getting, we're on the podiums tonight.
Where the fuck is everyone?
What do you mean, where is everyone? You've got 11 people in there.
9.
Who are we missing?
Nicky, Smokey, but he's I think he's restarting his PlayStation.
Right.
Ugbar.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chocolate
Stealth
Man,
is always
Liam.
normally late, isn't he?
Chocolate Man, Liam, Ugbar, Smokey.
Stealth's normally late.
Nicky.
Yeah.
That's the 6 we're missing.
Push the trolley a little bit fucking faster. Guys, sorry, I'm still stuck shopping. I didn't realise the time.
Who's that?
Nicky.
Nicky's shopping.
Oh, Smokey joined but then disconnected. Lovely.
Well, just going back to what we were talking about, Dan, I would love to hear your plans in detail at some point.
Well, it was just an idea. I'm working on it, and I know my first trial, what I would try and do.
Which is?
I've just been saying to Dad, I'm thinking about trying a new career path in life. Might go back to college and study media. And learn to video edit properly.
Oh yeah.
And probably one of the first things that I would probably try and do is highlights.
Oh, what? Nice. On what? Simplay highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, Simplay get highlights then. I then get experience of learning to edit and change videos. It's a win-win for both.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, I got to look at courses first.
You've got a couple of avenues open to you where you could you know, kind of hone your skills. I mean, exactly where we started on this. Do you know what I mean? You know,
every time I press audience, it's still fucking missing.
Audio sport and needs more media. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't believe. So.
Well, there's all sorts. I would try and study social media from video editing to commentary. I mean, obviously commentary would be mixed into that. Could be a path where I could commentate, not obviously just F1, but I could commentate like other leagues, possibly proper events. It must be football.
Well, yeah. Again, as you said, there's lots of avenues, and you know, there's media is a very big word. You know.
Yeah.
Very big subject.
Yeah. Matt, shall I get started?
Smokey's in.
You can do it, Stephen. It's past 8. I'm happy to start when you are.
Well, Smokey's in. Nicky's busy. I don't know where Ugbar is, so Stealth's lost normally late, so
yeah, he's normally late.
Right.
You're 3 minutes past. I think we should get started any second now, really.
Give you a thumbs up when we're live.
Right, I'll drop you down. Make sure I'm unmuted, Matt. He's doing that now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name's Dan Davis, also known as Unorthodox, and welcome back for round 4 of the Pro-Am Championship. Joining me once again in the commentary box is my father, Kelly Davis. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm really good, Dan. Really good, and excited again. It's race night.
It is race night, and we are in the. We've travelled to a country that don't often host race events, but we are in the Czech Republic here for round 4 of the season here at Brno. We haven't been to this circuit since season 1, and we have made a return. The last time we were here, it was horrible, foggy, wet conditions, and with what the forecast has been forecast, Kelly, I don't think we'd be too far away from that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think a certain driver, a certain Unorthodox, took his first race win on that night, did he not?
I did, yes, and like I said, this circuit is has fond memories with myself for taking my first win here at Simplay Motorsport. But another amazing milestone to remind people is today is actually Dean Wasoki's first race 1 is his 100th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport. So congratulations to Dean Wasoki for making his 100th here at Brno. Hopefully he can have a good one, and as 100ths go, Kelly, not many good events happen at 100ths. You had mine, which I got attacked by AIs. You know, Furies, who had a not so great race 2. So hopefully Dean can have a better 100th race.
Yeah, let's hope it's lucky for him. That's a lot of racing, isn't it? An awful lot of racing. So well done to Dean to making that 100 milestone. It's quite an exclusive club here at Simplay. So yeah, let's hope he has some great luck this evening.
For sure. And Kelly, would you like to hear the standings so far after 3 rounds?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. We've been on stream for minutes now, and I thought you'd never ask. Yes, please, Daniel.
Well, obviously the standings are this, and in counting with the drop scores and double points that have been taken. So Matahimovic leads the way with 125 points, and he's taken his double points, and he only has 11-point gap over Enprava in the Audi Sport with 114 points, 11 points behind Matt. And then in P3 we have Ben Parkey, still yet to use his double points on 73 points, who was missed last week. So sadly he's now back, and he is here to race and give it a good go. 52 points behind the leaders. In 4th place is Laney, also a man still yet to take his double points, 72, a point behind Ben, and 53 overall behind Matt. Then we have Ukbar, who's 61 points, who's currently not in the session right now, and 64 behind, still yet to use his double points. And then we have Smithy in 6th place, 57 points and 68 behind the leader. He has taken his double points. And P7 is Welshie in the Lamborghini with 43 points and 82 behind the leader. In 8th place we have Smoky Devil, I believe still yet to use his double points, and 39 points behind, and 39 points he's on, and 86 behind. Then we have the 100th appearance driver himself, Dean Wasoki, in 9th place with 35 points and 90 behind the leaders. In 10th place it goes the way of Bryn, his teammate. Also 33 points for him and 92 off the lead. Stel Sloth currently in 11th place position and 30 points to his name, 95 behind. Nicky in 12th place, currently busy shopping right now, so hopefully he should be able to get into race before the race, or maybe make it into race 2, but we are missing Nicky at this precise stage, who also had COVID last week, so hopefully he's feeling up for it today. He's on 30 points with 95 behind the leaders. DJ Phil in 13th place in the McLaren with 26 points. Still no teammate turning up here this evening. He's 99 points behind. And speaking of that teammate, that Bozzy boy still not made an appearance here. He's in 14th, nor has Chocolate Man. So that is your running order. Regarding the teams, it's still Sweet and Sour Motorsport in the Acura, who leads the way with 182 points. But both drivers have used their double points. While Audi Sport currently in 2nd place again, Emprava with all those points bagged up with his double points with 114 points, 68 behind them. With Team Prolapse in 3rd, McLaren with 102 points and 80 behind. MC Motorsport in the Lamborghini and 73 points on them with 109. Rainbow Prolapse in 5th place position. McLaren 73 points to their name, 109. Not Fast, Just Furious. BMW in with 68 points. Then Metal and Racing on 61 points. Then Smoky Racing 39 points, and Powerline Racing in 26. And Kelly, we've already had just had a bit of dry running here, and what's that? I'm starting to see we're starting to get a bit of wet weather here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, when you were halfway through your stats there, Dan, your rundown, it just started a few drops of rain. I was going to say it's in the air tonight, isn't it? A bit of rain, maybe. When it's going to appear with its ugly head, we don't know. But it's looking like some of this practice session might get a bit of rain.
Well, yeah, definitely so. And I've been checking the weather, obviously, with the way things run here at Simplay Motorsport. That obviously runs the Pro. I run the Pro-Am, and I had a quick look at the weather yesterday, and it seemed okay. And then I had a look at it this morning, and it just completely changed. Really tipped over his head, and yeah,
that looks like proper rain on screen now. Yeah, so I mean, you've driven this one in the wet, Dan. What does it puddle up? How does it change this track?
For one, it's surprisingly quite good. The worst corner probably here is the final corner. There is a massive river that goes across it. I briefly remember when I was racing that one and trying to defend from Sutty, Emo Guy actually rolled his car at the final corner by hitting that puddle. So it can be a lethal circuit. This corner here, a lovely river goes right across the circuit, and most of the Pro and the Pro-Am boys who race then will remember how lethal this circuit was. Lap times, we want to be looking in the dry. You want to be looking at a kind of like a 2 minute to 2:01, 2:02 pace for the Pro-Am. So at the minute, Emprava with that dry running is in the 2:01s, and at the minute with this rain coming down, anything can happen. And I don't know how many people have actually tested for the wet, but we could be in for some surprises later.
Absolutely. Do you want a couple of stats about the track, Dan?
Oh yes, please, Kelly, hit me away with them.
I would do. My tablet's just moved thing. Right, okay. Czech Republic, as we said, FIA Grade 2 circuit. The original circuit kind of layout was designed back in the 50s, and that's probably starting to get wet now, look, Dan, isn't it?
It is.
And but the permanent circuit that you see today, it was actually built in 1987. Lap record for overall lap record is in a Toro Rosso, Formula 1 car, Toro Rosso, and is a 1:36.0. But I can actually tell you, there's a lot of stats on fastest laps for this track, and the GT3 time in real time is a 2:01 dead, which was done in a Lamborghini by Rolf Inderhuizen, which I'm thinking he's probably German or Eastern European or something like that, which was done in 2016. So that's the kind of GT pace for real. Well, Emplava's around that in practice. So the rest of the guys are struggling to get near that now because it's getting wet, isn't it? You know? Yeah,
definitely, for sure. It's definitely gonna struggle to get any decent times out of this, but at least now they get somewhat an idea of some wet running here. And yeah, it's already interesting because some of the drivers have gone out and done their dry testing, and now they've come out to the wet. With rain lingering around, I think it was a bit fair just to kind of make the practice session a little bit wet, so people who didn't have the knowledge, well, they do have now with it being a bit wet out there.
Yeah.
So currently 10 drivers out on circuit right now. Emprava leads the way, but obviously we're not going to see some blistering lap times now due to the fact that the rain has come, but it's all about making sure their final tweaks and changes to the setup is just about right, especially with these wet conditions. And it's going to be an interesting one tonight, Kelly, and especially with the revival of the Pro Laps boys back here tonight, who aren't really doing many laps at the minute. Laney and Ben just currently sitting in the pits waiting.
Yeah, which is probably crazy unless they've done some wet running. I tell you what, Dan, I was going to have a chat about this guy, Smithy. He comes alive in the wet. I've raced him in the Pro-Am series. Those of you who follow for the last couple of seasons, this guy comes alive in wet conditions. He's like a different driver, you know, and I found him so incredibly hard to beat when we were in the wet. Now, this would be his first time out wet in the Acura as opposed to wet running in the Porsche. But I'll be interesting to watch him tonight, Dan, in these wet conditions.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Smithy gets on this evening, and to be honest, all the guys, because this is going to be our first real introduction to the wet conditions, as DJ Phil's had a spin in the McLaren, and there was a couple of things also that I've recently learned here, and when we've been testing here, it's very much a chassis circuit. You know, you really need the car to be comfortable, planted, and in its happy place, or else it just doesn't feel right. And it's not all about grunt here, it's all about that mechanical grip.
Yeah, you're quite right, Dan, and I've certainly found from last week from Hockenheim to here, I much prefer driving this track. It's got a certain flow to it, and you and me were doing some testing just recently or earlier this evening, and once you find that flow, it's quite a rewarding track, and it, as you say, it's not all about the grunt. It's it's getting it hooked up, isn't it? It's getting the flow of the track hooked up.
Well, if I remember rightly, this circuit is designed for bikes. It's a MotoGP circuit, so the way the bike turns compared to a road car is very, very different. So you take it in comparison, a car that would want to turn in wants obviously more, it would be able to turn in quite soon and quite early, while a motorbike tends to kind of make a long sweeping corner, you know, it tends to come in. So this is why we've got more of a sweeping circuit here, and I think this is one of the challenges that these guys have to learn. They obviously take the original positioning of driving a car, okay, that's how you turn into a corner, that's how you hit the apex, that's how you drive. When a circuit like this, where the track isn't exactly the same as anything else, you really have to adapt to it.
Absolutely, and the former owner, I mean, Boss GP own it now, but former owner was MotoGP Czech Republic Motorcycle Grand Prix, so kind of a bit of a clue there, really, as a previous owner. And so yeah, it's MotoGP is its thing. Although, as I said, there's an awful lot of stats about an awful lot of different series. So yeah, a lot of series have been round here. Never a Grand Prix here, as we see Matt having a bit of a spin, trying to find the limits, exactly what practice is for, and he opts to go back to the pits, maybe just to have a little bit of a tweak and a change, who knows. I was trying and get an onboard, Dan, and we've got Laney here just coming into turn one. Should we have a go round?
Sure.
Turn one. Sure. Turn one, as we see someone going backwards, long right-hander. One of those hurry up and wait type corners that Martin Brundle says. As you come up the hill here, there's a bit of a bump on the right-hand side. In the single-seater categories, you can actually bounce the back wheels off the ground and lose it on that bump. Come uphill, late apex left-hander. A lot of chicanes on this track, so one corner flows into another. Right-hander, get it up on the curb, let it run wide, accelerate, you start going downhill now. And it's going to be a double right-hander as you come down here, right over to the edge. Hit the brakes, down a couple of gears, pull it into the apex. Watch out for those tyres. Those tyres are rock hard, but I reckon we're going to see a few of those tyres around the track a bit later on, as Laney has a bit of a wobble through there. Interesting corner, one I've been struggling with through here. I like the corner, but struggling to get time as we come out of this, another chicane, down to the bottom of the hill. Bit of an overtaking opportunity, possibly, if you get a run out of that last left-hander. We're going to the apex lane. He missed that one. He's missed the second one as well as he comes out wide to try and pull it back into the apex. He's going round, and round he went. And there he goes. He's pulled it back and is going to follow on with his track. His lap. He doesn't go back to the pits. So where are we at the moment? So we're coming down the hill again. Some undulations in this one as well, uphill and downhill. And Laney just coasting a little bit now. Probably wants to get his tyres back up to speed, or just get out of the way of other people. I don't know. He's returned to the pits.
I think that was Dean who was finishing the lap there. So if you want to grab on board with Dean, I think he was finishing his lap.
Try and grab Dean on his 100th as we come uphill here to another uphill chicane. This one as we're rising towards the end of the track. I like this chicane here. Easy to run wide on the exit. You can run out onto that curb on the left hand side, and there's not really many places to go. You start to see some puddles forming. We're coming up to the last chicane, unsighted just before the braking zone. Pull it over, pick up that apex again, tuck it towards the tyres, try not to hit them. They're rock hard now. Power hard as you come through the last corner and really start to gain speed out of that last corner. We saw that river starting to build that Daniel was talking about just earlier, and if you're good, you'll be 2 minutes. If you're really good, you'll be sub 2 minutes.
That's in the dry, but in the wet conditions, Dean just struggling a little bit. The 2:16 there, and just a reminder to all Pro-Am drivers, if you are listening, the pit window will be a lap 4 and onwards. So reminder that it is a lap 4 and onwards. You can pit. You can't pit before that unless you have significant damage. And one thing I just want to comment while we're in this practice session, Kelly, is that Buzzy Boy has managed to make his first appearance this season here at the Pro-Am in the McLaren. He finally joins his teammate DJ Phil in the Powerline Racing McLaren. He's in the black livery this season. There he is, out on track. And it's nice to see Liam back here racing. Opted to go for the McLaren this season. He's finally managed to get on. He was meant to be doing F1 as well, as he's just testing the limits here, and he's gone off and hit the wall.
And that's one spoiler down.
Yeah, that's one spoiler down. McLaren going to be spending out on that, as he's just got to be a bit cautious getting back on track.
Yep, absolutely, and he's going to have to go back to the pits. That car's going to handle like a squealing pig with no spoiler on the back of it. So Liam finding his feet, and also we haven't seen going sideways. Stealth Sloth's managed to get in as well. Usually a late comer. I don't know what his situation is, but he's usually gets there in the end in that Lamborghini, and he's a lot of curb there, a lot of curb. So these boys finding the limits in the wet.
Yeah, and it should be very interesting. The qualifying session is going to be an interesting one, I know that for sure. And obviously we have this wet weather currently here for a minute, but there could be all sorts coming our way as we've got 3 minutes left of the session. And guys, while I get this opportunity, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel here at Simplay Motorsport. We are on our way to 200 subscribers. We are so close, so if you can spread the stream around, we're only 8 away, so if you please spread the stream around, let's get as many people in here as we can. Let's try and get as many views as we possibly can. Hit that like button, hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, and do all that. Have a look on the Instagram, have a look on the Facebook page, have a look at all that. If you want to get involved for seasons to come, we've currently got the World Endurance where people drop in and out every now and then, so I think there's seats available for the GTE, so have a look at that. The first World Endurance went really well at Silverstone. We plan to do Monza next in a couple of weeks time, and also I believe there's seats available now for F1 as well, so if you're interested in the F1 league, then please have a look on our Facebook page, have a look on the Discord as well, and make sure you get yourself signed up and ready to race for them. And
I was going to say, Dan, just to add to that, if you people want to laugh on Sunday night, definitely tune in to F1, because F1 this Sunday is Monaco, and the Formula 1 cars are a lot more fragile than these GT3 cars, and you can be out the race really quickly. And with it being Monaco, I think there's going to be a spectacular first couple of laps for sure. For sure, indeed. And wow, this is going to be an interesting night. I really hope these guys have done their homework. Obviously, it's been a bit boring lately with dry weathers and stuff like that, but I have to say, Bruno, once again, one of my all-time favourite circuits, has delivered here again with some wet weather conditions. The good old Czech Republic has offered us some great action here this evening, and hopefully we can have some great racing. Maybe, possibly, a new race winner, who knows? Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that. So don't go anywhere. If you want to get a coffee or a drink or whatever your poison is, hurry up, because qualifying is going to start in about 10 minutes' time. Lots of chit chat in the chat this evening. Hello to Disco McDisco Face, Pro Driver, and Fury's mum, the Fury Massive, Fury's granddad, always the Fury Massive, X-Smart from Pro Laps, and Smithy is supposed to be driving, Mike, who's Peaceful Explosion, Kieran Argent, all these pro guys. Great to see you on the chat, great to see you commenting and following the Pro-Am series, and we love to have you there and love to have your comments, so keep them coming, guys, please.
As Ukbar actually gets himself into the session, so we do have another car joining us there. So Ukbar has got himself in the session. I don't know what's going on with my that Buzzy Boy has left, so Liam will not be joining us for this race, as the practice session has come to an end. Okpa obviously not able to get out there and set a lap time, but it is this man who has set the pace, the early pace in the dry.
Yeah.
But we are not sure quite on wet pace, as I forgot to load up my fancy telemetry that I have on my phone, and it won't tell me. But hopefully for race 2 I can get it sorted.
Error.
I wasn't prepared. But hopefully I will be soon.
Yes, hopefully you will. So yes, as Dan said, Emplava setting the pace in practice, but that was a practice session and got wet really quite quickly. So really not the true pace from a lot of the drivers this evening. And who do we think is going to do well tonight, Dan? There's so many aspects of this, isn't there? You know, a chassis car is good here. We talked about patience and flow around this track, and then just add in a bit of wet weather to go with that as well. It's going to be quite the challenge, as Emplava does a lovely drift through that corner, very well held, lots of opposite lock, nicely done.
This is definitely going to be suited to drivers who like a slidey car and have a good feel of the car. I'm expecting Smithy to probably do something in the Acura. He was very good in the Porsche. I know Matt's been working on an Acura setup, so probably something that he's been working on and tweaking on. The Audi can be quite good in the wet, so we see what Emplava can do. But nonetheless, I really don't know. It's whoever can take to the conditions, and you see that puddle there on the final corner that I was telling you about. It's there, and it's going to cause some chaos as Emplava finishes the session. I don't know who's left out on track. It might be Welshie.
Still out. Yeah, Welshie's still out.
That's his session done, Stealth Sloth. So with these wet conditions, what can people do with it, and how can they make the best of the conditions? I also believe that Emplava is actually also suffering from COVID as well. So he's here, he's racing, and fair play to the man. He's giving it a good go.
I tell you what, Dan, my race feed is saying that Bozzy boy was disqualified from that session, and I don't know what that's all about. That's just what it's saying in my bottom corner of my screen, so I don't know what quite that's
possibly spun it in the pit.
Spit lane, yeah, spit lane. The spit lane, the pit lane, even, yes. And he doesn't appear on our screen there either for a lap time. So yeah, could have been a mistake there from Liam, as you said. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, Emplava
he'll get it back into the next one, won't he?
Hopefully so, as game's taken a while for it to load in.
Yep, just taking a minute or two. Sometimes it does, doesn't it? By the time all the guys get back to their pit lanes and so on and so forth, we hope this is not going to be a problem.
Emplava though sets the pace early on with obviously that dry running, with Laney in second and Bryn in third position in the BMW, Matt in fourth, fifth goes away as Smoky Devil, DJ Phil in sixth, seventh is Welshie, eighth is Dean Wasaki, then it's Smithy in ninth, 10th of Stealth Sloth Ukbar, not yet set a time, nor has Ben Parkey, and yeah, this is not wanting me to carry on.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what's going on here, so if someone's struggling, might have to leave the session. It could be some
sort of glitch. We had this last week for myself, actually. My game froze and held everybody up. I had to retire. There we go. My screen's changed, so and we are into the qualifying session, 10-minute qualifying. You've got to get on with this, as all of us have. So that's the way things work.
What's the conditions right now, Kelly? Can we have a look at a car that's gone out? I believe, if I'm correct.
As soon as one goes out, Dan.
There's cars moving. As Liam's joined back into the session. I might have been disqualified, and he's left again. So it's dry.
For now.
For now. But if we can go on board with a car.
Yep. We can go on board with Dean.
So at this precise minute, it is dry. So we don't know how long the dry running is going to last. But if these guys want to set a pace, they need to get out now while they can, because rain is forecast.
If you're smart, you need to be on track, don't you? That's the fact of the matter. Although, unless you take a strategy of starting from the back, of course, these guys don't know when the rain's going to come, or if the rain is, for the full race, half race, end, beginning, whatever. So these guys don't know what's coming. So as weather can be very unpredictable, as most people know. Yeah, it's you could work on the strategy of starting from the back down and picking off people in front of you. You know, so
yeah, you could, but in this situation, it's all in my perspective. If you know rain is lurking, you can't mess around and stay in the pits, especially on a circuit like this where it's a 2-minute lapper around here. If you're not out on track and you're not setting the lap times, then you're not going to get a good lap time. As Dean's really laggy there.
Yeah, a bit of a lag. We'll move from Dean because lagging like that can be a problem. I think Ugbar is a lot further back. Let's try.
I believe Ben is the next car behind Dean, if I remember rightly.
There we go. Yes, you are correct, Daniel. Well spotted.
So this
Rainbow
is Ben's first time out on track, and we can see what he's able to produce. Obviously, has seen the weather conditions, and has probably gone out there at the best condition while he can and set his fastest laps. But a 2-minute dead is probably our best lap time that we will see as Ben starts his lap here at Bruno.
Absolutely, into turn 1, as we said earlier. This is a long right-hander. Kind of hurry up and wait turn as we turn. As we see Dean in the background, it's looking very grey up above. You need to get on with these laps and get these lap times in. The tyres are going to be cold still at this point for most people, so they're still on tentative on cold tyres, as we see Dean just kicking up the dust in front as we come through this chicane. So you're going to be wary of the tyres, but as I said, you've got to get on with it. But you've got to put a banker lap in before the rain starts to come, and as I said, it looks like it could at any moment absolutely pour down by the looks of those skies.
It does, and you really don't want to be you don't want to be tripping over anyone at the minute, and Ben will be probably getting a little bit frustrated seeing the BMW in front of him. Dean's on a lap, Ben's on a lap, and he knows that this is probably the best conditions you're going to get.
Yes, indeed, and Dean has got no reason to get out of the way. He's on a hot lap and just got just as much right to be on the track as Ben has, so there could be handbags here, as they're both fighting for the same bit of circuit. Ben sends it down the inside, not the best line. It's not going to give him the best, not going to give either of them the best lap, really, is it?
No, they're not, and for both of them, they're really going to struggle. And for the rest of the guys, it's just about nailing this lap. As like I said, being a 2-minute lap track, you can't mess around in the pits, and you can't really afford to make any mistakes. You have to nail it on the first lap, at least get a banker in, and see what you can do on the second lap as Ben comes around the corner. And let's see what his lap time is. This is going to be the benchmark. 2 minute is roughly where you want to be. A 59 would be absolutely amazing. What does he do? A 59.2.
59.2. That's a very good banker lap. A very good. And considering he was overtaking Dean at the same time, Matt bangs in a hot one at Laney goes quicker than Matt and drops it into second place with a 59.5. Matt in the 59s as well. So yeah, Emplava just out of that with a 2-minute 1, and in the kind of pace he had in practice, is that his true pace, or has he got a bit more? I would have thought he's got a bit more, but certainly the three main contenders now in the 59s and comfortably in there. And look, we're over halfway through this session already.
Yeah, definitely so. And Laney's currently up on his time. He's found a 10th. I'm not sure what Ben's doing out in front, but Matt is also on a hot lap as well. All these guys will want to make sure that this second lap is their best lap. A couple of lap times coming in. Welsh goes into 11th place. A couple others. Ugbar up there close, not too far behind these guys as well. Smokey also with decent pace. I'm going to say that Mercedes is going to struggle, but Ugbar returns to the pits, and he's going to be in trouble there if he's not back out quick enough.
Laney back in the pits as well. So these guys conceded and thought they've done enough, or are they going to go again? Laney's out again. Ugbar's out again.
Ben is now coming through the final sector. Is he currently up on his lap time? And he is. He's 4 tenths up. So this is looking like a 58 right now from Ben, and he's run it as low to the fuel as possible. He's got very little downforce. What is this lap time going to be? A 58 is what I've managed to achieve in this car around here. So can Ben Parkey match that as he comes up to the final few corners now? It's only 2 corners to go. There's no rain at this minute, and I don't think it's going to come in this practice in this quality session. So Ben exits the final corner now. What is this lap time going to be? A 58.7.
Oh, that's quick. 58.7. That's yeah, that's an absolute flyer.
Where is Matt? He crosses the line and doesn't improve. He's half a second
down.
off. But he has got a nice buffer between him and Emprava, so he can see the McLarens. He's in touch with them. He's just got to hope that his setup, his race pace is good enough to take the fight to him. At this stage, Ben is looking strong. Laney's still yet set a time. Who's coming into the final few corners now?
Laney with a bit of damage on the front of his car there. We saw him go back into the pits. You think he made a little bit of a mess of it?
Possibly so, as I'm just trying to keep an eye on the times. No one seems to really be improving. There's 3 cars exiting the final corner now. Who is that coming towards the line? I'm not sure who, but nonetheless, we have got cars improving out there bit by bit. But it's still Ben Parkey who's the only man to improve. Emprava in the middle sector as Smokey returns to the pits.
Emplava will be trying to look for a bit more, you know, a bit more than a 201 with his rivals around him there in the 59s. He's going to want to be in that kind of bracket. But qualifying's one thing, race pace is another.
It is. But a couple of guys still looking to try and get a bit more time out of them. If they want to get a lap time in, they have to leave the pits now. So Smokey, Smithy and DJ Phil, if they want one more lap time, they have to get out the pits now. And I don't think they will. They don't think they will now. They're done. That's it. They're done for the session. So whoever's out on track now, this is it. You're going to be on you're coming up to your final lap. So Emprava in the final sectors, and I think what I can hear is a McLaren in front.
Yeah, there's one. I don't know who's in front, but there's really only one car in front now. That everybody else who's on the lap is behind.
Matt's going to let Emprava go so he can get a run on his final lap. So this will be Matt's and Emprava's last run as they come through the final corner. They will be starting their final laps, but Smokey, Bryn and Smithy, including DJ Phil as well, are done from this session and will not improve. So Emprava exits the final corner. Will Matt want to use the toe off the back of the Audi? That's the question, as Emprava does not improve and will stay in 4th place position.
The only problem with that, Dan, is he will be in the wash of his dirty air as he comes through the first corner. So it's Emplava and Matt's on a
bailed.
lap.
He's bailed.
He's probably found that isn't going to happen, and there's no point backing off, is there? So Matt's bailed. He's thought he's done all he can do. Emplava is out there. Who's just come across the line? Where's Ugbar? On track.
Ugbar's in the second to last chicane, and he's got the Lamborghini of Stealth Sloth right behind him. Dean's on his last lap now. Possibly Welshie, could that be?
Well, yeah.
It is Welshie.
Yeah, Welshie's now coming to the line, so Welshie will get another lap in. There's 2 cars behind Welshie.
Ugbar and Stealth Sloth.
Ugbar and Stealth, and so they'll get across the line and get another lap in. And someone else coming through the last chicane. Who's that? Is that no? Ugbar's into turn 1.
Stealth. It's
Ben's
Ben
just come
Parkey.
across the line. Who's
There's
that in
Laney.
the background?
That's Laney. So is Laney going to cross the
Will
line
he
to get
across
one
the
more?
line?
He
Yes,
does.
he will. Just gets in for his last lap. So Emplava was the first one across the line for his final lap. Qualifying is over. These guys can finish their lap and improve. And where is Emplava? As we're coming up to the uphill section, the first chicane in the uphill section. Is he up? We don't know. I haven't seen his delta just yet. So he's into the final sector already. So it won't be until he goes across the line will we know if he's improved. I'm sure for his own satisfaction he'll be wanting to get in front of Ugbar maybe and get himself into the sub 2 minutes. But we'll see what he can do as he comes around the last corner, accelerating hard out of this. He comes across the line. Is he going to improve?
Yes, but he doesn't quite get close enough to Matt. Laney's bailed in his lap time. So who's then the next car? I believe it will be Welshie that's first.
Could well be.
No, it's not. It's not sure who that is. It's Dean, I think. Dean. There he is.
Yes,
The Dean exits the final corner.
Dean's
Can he do better than 8th? He does. He goes 6th.
Yes, he does. Takes up 6. Good effort.
Then it's Welshie. What can Welshie do? He's currently in 11th place position. The Lamborghini. I don't know if it struggles here or not. I know Sutty managed to make it work in season 1. He gave me a headache in this car. Can Welshie get it on a little bit higher than 11th? Both of the Lamborghinis currently the bottom 2. But he comes through the final corner and he just drops it. He's just dropped the rear. So it's Ugbar left to finish. 5th place for Ugbar. Can he jump Emprava now? The Ginetta. Can he finally get ahead of the Audi this season towards the line? We'll find out in a sec.
I hate it when it does that, don't you?
No, Emprava hangs on. So it is Ben Parkey who takes another pole position here at Simplay Motorsports with Laney in 2nd. 3rd goes away Matt Imovic. 4th is Emprava. 5th is Ukbar. 6th is Dean Wasocki. 7th is Smoky Devil. 8th is Bryn. 9th is Smithy. 10th is DJ Phil. And right at the back of the grid in 11th and 12th are the 2 Lamborghinis of Welshie and Stealth Sloth. And Kelly, that was qualifying. We had some dramas. We had some interesting racing, interesting tactics from some of the drivers there, not wanting to go out in the wet session, and we're about to get underway. Lap 4 is when the pit window opens, and there's rain forecast. So does these guys go as long as they can, or will they get their pit stops done and out the way? That is the question. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Who's your money on, Dan?
I'm going to go with Matt on this one.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you, to be fair.
I'll be interested to see how the Audi gets on, and also the Ginetta of Ugbar, but I just don't know if Laney and Ben have done enough wet testing, because I know there's rain lurking. Can they get enough of a gap? And also the other thing that's important is tyres. Will the tyres affect any of these drivers? I know there's a little bit of an issue when you change tyres here on the project cars. It sometimes doesn't do it for you, so if you make sure you've done it correctly, it should do it. But to be honest, Kelly, with wet weather around, it's anybody's race.
I'm going to be keeping my eye on Smithy, because, as I said, he's good in the wet, really good, comes alive in the wet. So hopefully, but this will be his first wet race in the Acura, if it rains, of course. And but it'll be his first outing in the Acura in anger in the wet. So we'll have to see how he gets on. But it's anybody's, isn't it? If it does start to rain, we know what rain could do, and we know what chaos could ensue after that. So yeah, as I said, don't go away. It's all going to hot up in a minute or two.
Yep, and just a reminder as well, pit window is lap 4 for the Pro-Ams, lap 4, and we're about to get underway here at Bruno for Dean Wasocki's 100th race start. Here we go, the lights come on for the drivers, the revs will start to rise here at Bruno. We got 1 light, we got 2 lights, we got 3 lights. And we're away here, and I think Laney's jumped the start.
Was that a jump?
I think Laney's jumped the start. Yes, I think so. He might be getting a drive-through penalty then. That's a clear jump, and Laney leads this race. But Matt has jumped Ben at the start.
Cracking start from Matt. Yeah.
What's going on at the back of the pack? We've got a couple of cars off. Smithy has just dropped it in the background. A couple of guys, and Dean's gone round. A couple of other guys dropping it. He's hit the wall, so Dean's got damage. There's a Lamborghini off with Welshie as well. So all chaos from the back of the pack. But it is Laney with the jump start from Matt, from Ben. And Matt's already putting pressure on Laney here.
He certainly is. Look, the top 4 have broken away already. These guys,
look at Ugbar. Look at Ugbar in the background.
Everybody else behind trying to have a go for 5th place. The top 4 have broken away already. They're where the race is going to be. But look at these guys jostling for
DJ Phil.
here.
DJ Phil has just hit the grass and taken Smithy out with him. So DJ Phil's a bit dangerous from there, and he's gone wide as well and hit the wall.
Yeah, absolutely, gone very wide and hit the wall. Look at these 4 in very
big
close
twitch from Emprava there. Yeah, I just saw a twitch from Emprava and Ben. So all these guys are running the limits here, but this is great stuff from the top 4. They've just disappeared. Ugbar just trying to catch on to the back of him, but if they start fighting and squabbling, Ugbar will be back into this fight. So some of the guys at the back, Smithy and Dean and probably Phil, will all need to pit for damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they can prove significant damage, that's the only pit stop they're going to have to do. But the rain could come, and if the rain does, they will have to change those tyres. So, Yeah, it's unfortunate for all those guys, but anything can happen. That was deep from Laney.
He was deep, and that's given Matt a decent run. Has Matt got enough grunt in that Acura to have a look on the McLaren? But Ben is right there as well. Laney flashing the lights. I believe Laney's telling him he's got a drive-through. He has to have been. That start must have been a drive-through. Must have been.
Yeah, we can't confirm that right at the moment unless anybody knows something that we don't.
He's in.
He is on a drive-through, so that's going to make a right royal mess of his race, that is. But that's what happens. So he takes his drive-through straight away. I believe he's got 3 laps to take it. Excuse me.
Well, he has a whole race to take it, but it's better to get it out of the way while you can. So Laney is in the pit, and Kieran Argent just says, check Matt stream. Yes, drive-through. So it was definitely a drive-through from him.
Yeah,
Ben is now pressurising the back of Matt. This is a good opportunity up into turn 3, but he's not quite close enough. Emprava just sat there watching, and Smokey looks like he have a little bit of fight going on behind him. I believe he's defending from Bryn. He is so, and Bryn just trying to stick to the back of that Mercedes right now. But the main fight is between Matt and Ben. 0.3 of a second separate those two, but it's 0.7 separating the top 3. Emprava this season has suddenly just found an extra gear and has now been able to take the fight to Matt, Ben and Laney. This Pro-Am season has been such a difficult season for these guys, and it's going to carry on to the end. Matt thought he was going to have a little bit easier this season, but now these boys are here. He's really got to work for it this season.
Absolutely, and I was talking to Smithy just before the race start, and he said, "Oh yeah, you know, Pro-Am, you'd be doing well, you'd be up the front." I certainly wouldn't. This front end, Matt, Ben, Laney, Emplava are all so quick, so quick. And their racecraft is so good. This is going to be...
Oh, look at Ben. He's right onto the back of Matt. It just needs one good exit and he can get past that Acura. And I can tell you now, Ben's probably getting frustrated and he's looking down the inside of Matt there and he's not able to do anything there. It's really difficult to send a move on the inside here at any part of the corners because there's no heavy braking area. You can let the car run wide. Yeah. You can go a bit wider and get away with it. So you really have to be smart about it, and Ben will have to pick his opportunity well, and then Bravo has just got to be ready to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dan. What it's going to be is you're going to have to take your opportunities. It's not like you can line someone up into a heavy braking zone. You're going to have to wait for them to run wide and make a mistake and then capitalise on that mistake by tucking to the inside or whatever you need to do. But you're going to have to take your opportunities when they present themselves around here and not be able to line someone up for that obvious pass.
Well, the running order at this minute is Matt leads this race from Ben Parkey in second and Emprava in third. Ben really got a good run through the first corner there, and Ben's really looking to try and make a move on the inside of Matt here. He looks to do it, but he's not quite close enough. In that 4th place position, oh, Matt has a wiggle!
Oh, when they touch, they go round.
Matt, and he's been hit by Emprava as well. So Matt, Ben, and
round.
Ben slowing down. He's obviously waiting and trying to get Matt to come back into the lead. This is going to help Ugbar out massively.
Yeah, look at Ugbar. This brings him right back into it. Matt's flashed the lights. Ben Parkey done the right thing. He gave him the tap.
He's given the place back.
Yeah,
so
give Matt a tap from behind, and he's done the very right thing. He's slowed up and he's given that position back. That's no harm done unless Matt's carrying damage from it.
I think, Matt might have had a wiggle, snapped onto the brakes, and then Ben just got caught up by it, running close, obviously, to the back of him. But that has helped out massively for Ugbar, Smokey, and the rest of them. Ben, gone wide there. Has he got front aero damage?
Yeah.
And I will tell you now, Kelly.
Sorry, mate. I tell you, lost out was this guy. Out of all that, there was no harm done for Matt and Ben at the end of it, but the man who really lost out of all that was Emplava. We didn't see it on the stream, but we could pretty much guess that he collected into the back of Matt when he was spinning, because he was so close behind these guys. When it happened, he was right there, and I think he was the one that obviously ended up in 5th place after all that.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Right back into play.
He is back into play, and I don't know what damage possibly Ben, Matt, or Emprava are carrying, but at this precise minute, Ugbar in the Ginetta and the Mercedes of Smokey have got themselves back in an opportunity for a possible race win, and that's probably helped out Laney as well. Wherever Laney is at the minute, he's obviously served his drive-through. He will have to come again, but with all these guys tangling with one another, it's really helped him out. Matt slow out the final corner there, and it looks like Ben might have an opportunity to send it into turn 1, but he's not quite close enough.
No, not that time. And as I say, you've got to take your opportunities when they're presented. But Ben definitely looking racy. And excuse me, I've got a little bit of a tickly cough this evening.
Ben looking down the inside here. Ben had a good run through turn 1 and 2. He's looking down the inside. Matt sticking to his line on the outside, and he hasn't quite got an overlap. Matt a lot better on the brakes there. And Peaceful in the comments saying, nicely done from Ben to let Matt back through, but not just in the mid corner. So yeah, Ben did
Saves you a job, Mike.
Yeah, he did the crime, but he obviously then paid it back and given Matt the position after making contact with him. So as Emperava down the inside of Smokey. So whatever damage he sustained isn't hurting him too bad.
No, he got it done, and sorry if I'm jumping around, but Laney is all over the back of Matt like a cheap suit. He's within 3/10 of him all the time, and he must be feeling quite a wash off the back of that Acura. Some dirty air back there that he's coping with really, really well.
Yeah, he is really well, and these two really holding up one another, but they seem to be extending the gap to Ugbar at this stage. Ugbar not quite able to stick to the back of these guys. Laney a little further back. He's stuck in the traffic. He's now trying to catch onto the back of Bryn, but look at his lap times. He's the only one in the 2 minutes, so Laney on his own. He has got a lot of work to do, but that's his fault for jumping the start. And the other thing that I was going to comment here, actually, Kelly, is one of the things that we've been struggling with for the last couple of rounds, especially in Pro and Pro-Am, is track limits. We're in an old school circuit where if you go wide, it's grass or gravel. So you do have to stay within track limits.
Got to be said, isn't it? The old school circuit's grass and gravel. It doesn't forgive you. Doesn't forgive you at all, and you know, it's
Matt,
one of those ongoing arguments, isn't it?
Matt and Ben separated by 3/10 once again. Look at how close Ben is to him, but he's not able to get the overlap. Both matching each other, 2 minute 01.6, so they're flying out in front. Emperava's matched them, but he's got to try and clear Ugbar as quickly as he possibly can. But I will tell you now, we're at 1/3 of this race. There's still no rain yet, but it's forecast that I'll probably be looking at lap 10, possibly a roughly chance for rain, as Ben has a look to the inside, thinks about it, but Matt just has an edge. Ugbar defending from Emperava in the background.
Yes, and absolutely. And look at these two go. And as sorry, I was in mid-sentence there. Emperava just tucked to the inside. I thought he was going to make that move there and then. We don't know where to watch really. And the great Martin Brundle says you're either giving pressure or taking pressure, and this is great examples of that, especially with the leading two. Ben Parkey has been within a quarter of a second of Matt for the last couple of laps really, and he's just piling on that pressure, and Matt is just soaking it up like a sponge.
And I will tell you now, Matt told us just before he is not feeling well today. He's feeling a little bit under the weather.
No.
And me and Kelly have heard him. He is really sounding rough. So him trying to obviously keep Ben behind him with the pace that Ben has as well. He's probably sweating in that seat right now. And Ben's right onto the back of him.
Absolutely, piling on the pressure, as I said. And
he's going to look to the inside.
He has. He's not going to do it from there, though, is he? Matt was only taking his wide line into that uphill chicane, which is a nice line to take. So, but Ben Parkey wants to be all over his mirrors, doesn't he? He wants to be, you know, making sure that, look, Matt, I'm still here. I'm ready to attack any time that you're going to mess it up. I'm here to take it. So Matt has to be right on his game, has to keep all his apexes nice. He doesn't have to be the ultimate pace, but he needs to be in the right place, if you know what I mean, so he can hold Ben Parkey off and defend. As Ugbar lost it out a bit out the last corner. That's given the place to Emperava, really. That's job done. He caught
that very well, though. He caught that very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And he might just got it up on the curb or something. And is that Ben Parkey doing the old touring car lights trick?
This is the closest he's been. This is as close as he's got, and he's still thinking better of it. He doesn't seem to have the confidence on the brakes to send it down the inside of Matt, and Matt is just able to just take his line and just drive his line. Matt is constantly doing the pace he's been doing, and I think that Acura is stable. It's not moving. He goes defensive now. This is the first defensive move that Matt's made, but Ben's going around the outside. That'll be a good move if he can get it done, but he'll get the inside for the next corner if he hangs it out there, but I don't think he will. Matt will just shut the door. No, he won't.
No, he's going to go through. No, it's still side by side, and great racing from these two. Really good racing, but now Ben Parkey's got the inside and he can't make it stick.
He's trying everything here, Ben. I thought Ben was toying with, but he is actually trying different things. He tried around the outside. What can Emplava do? Now he's got clear air. He's dropped Ugbar. Can Emplava get onto the back of these guys? DJ Phil with massive damage still in the pits, but he did pit within the window.
I wanted to show you this. I had to jump back on the trackside. I want to show you this. This is Ben Parkey's view, give or take. I don't know which view he drives, but this is what he's looking at. He's got to pick his braking zones. He's got to hit his apexes while watching that car in front of him, not to plough into the back of it again. And, you know, and keep all that together. It's hard going, Dan, isn't it? Lap after lap.
Yeah, definitely. And what other fights are going on at the minute? Smoky Devil has managed to brought that gap down a little bit to Ugbar. So Smoky Devil is starting to produce some good lap time to get onto the back of him. And what else is going on? Bryn and Dean obviously out there with the BMWs. Seem to be struggling here tonight, the BMWs. Don't think Andy and Disco will be too confident about that one. And I think Laney as well has caught onto the back of Stealth Sloth. Where is Stealth Sloth? He's just going up the hill, and Laney's just catching onto the back of him. But Ben, a great run through turn one. He had a good run there, but he got held up because Matt was there. He could not get the grip. He could not get the run. And Emplava, look at Emplava's lap time.
Yeah, great defensive driving from Matt. He's staying cool, he's staying calm. The last time they were side by side, Matt was putting the car in the right places, not over driving it, not over defending it, just making sure that he's right there. And you're quite right, Dan. This is what these two are squabbling. This is putting Emplava right back into play, you know. And I keep wanting to jump
Ben's
off
trying
to
it
the
again.
other cars.
He's trying the outside move again, but Matt just has to take his line. He has to hold in strong. He knows the Acora will grip. He knows he can hold it. And he knows Ben will have to try harder. And Ben's got an overlap, but it's not enough. He hasn't got enough.
No, absolutely. And Matt accelerates out the corner.
Beautiful driving from these two.
Yes, very beautiful driving from both of them. Very close contact, super clean, and so precise. A pleasure to watch. And this is a proper dogfight. This is what we want
Laney,
in motor racing, period.
Laney has passed Stealth Sloth, so he is now back up into 7th place position. DJ Phil is the only one to pit within the pit window, but like I said, with rain lurking around, no one wants to come in early, and I have set rain, so it depends on when it's going to come. These guys don't know, and from what I predicted and what I think is going to happen, we should see rain around lap 9 or 10 is what I think is going to happen.
Okay, well, you've given it away now, Dan, so yeah, that's
Ben's looking to the inside.
Again, yes, Ben Parkey having a look down the inside. Oh, that was a bit more throw it in there from Ben. That was a more of a frustrated kind of.
I don't think it was frustrated. I think Ben was entitled to his line. He was there. He was alongside, and Matt just didn't see him. So these two flashing lights at each other, but Matt is wanting to come back now.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, now Matt's got to be the chaser, and as Ben Parkey goes very deep into turn one. Emplava not far behind now.
Oh,
he's got he's down to a couple of seconds.
He's still faster than the guys in front of him, and I thought I started hearing the wind pick up, the trees picking up as well. Some of the guys in the comments, rain might be an actual saviour from Disco McDisco and PN Motorsport. Got to love the moist. If you say so. What other fights are going on? Smokey has brought that gap down to Ugbar, but Stealth Sloth pits. So that's an early pit stop for Stealth Sloth.
And is that wise? Well, I guess we'll see.
We shall see.
Something that we don't.
Is he changing tyres? No. So he's kind of come back out. There is no rain yet on the screen. If we go on the onboard, a cockpit view, if we can.
Yes, we can.
And there's still no rain on the lenses yet. Smoky Devil on the back of Ugbar and is looking to try and make a move on that Janetta if he can, but there's still no rain yet.
Yep, as these two are going toe-to-toe. Smokey's got the inside line for this one. Ugbar hanging it round all the way out the outside. But Smokey's got the job done by the looks of it. As Ugbar has to concede that one.
Ugbar looks like he's got damage to the front of his car.
Does. Yeah, probably, I don't know. Yeah, that spin we saw didn't seem too bad. But maybe something else has happened to Ugbar. He was running in third. Oh, was that a spot of rain I saw?
I think it is. Let's go on onboard, another onboard again. I can hear it on the roof. Can you, Kelly?
No, not really.
I can hear it.
I haven't got my telly turned up. So let's go further down the track. We're on board with Matt. Yeah, it's not. It's well, we know. There we go. Look, the wipers are starting to go.
Wipers
could
are
be
on.
That time.
The rain is here.
Now,
here we go.
How long before this rain is effective to the track and the track conditions? In other words, when are they going to pit? This is the key. You've got to be on the right tyres at the right time. A lap too far will ruin your race.
Straight in.
A lap too early will do the same.
Well, Ugbar is in. He is now pitting. Will he change tyres at the same time? He did have damage. So with that in mind, he might as well change the tyres as well. Have these guys done their homework? Welshie's in as well. So these guys opt in to pit straight away. I don't know if Ugbar's changing tyres. It doesn't look like it. Welshie, what's he doing? He's in.
Into his
Are they
pit
changing
box.
tyres? Doesn't look like it.
How can you tell with these pit mechanics?
Normally they do it, but in this case they're not. But the fight for the lead is still going on.
It certainly is. Matt dropping back a second or so, but this race is about to change like you wouldn't believe. So that was race part 1. Now we're going to start on race part 2, because as it starts to get wet, we'll then see who's the dominant in the wet conditions.
Yeah, definitely. So can Matt get an overrun on Ben? Dean is in. I'm pretty sure most of these guys are switching to the wet tyre. Smithy is in as well. So possibly they're changing tyres. Matt's obviously gone longer. Smithy knowing that he can come in earlier while Matt is busy fighting Ben and all. But can he clear the pit lane before Matt comes up the hill? That's the question. Ben, obviously with no teammate, as an independent, can come and go when he pleases. So what does he do? Does he stay out?
Well, does Ben go in? Doesn't
He's
look
staying
like
out.
it. Does Matt stay out?
He does.
For another lap. So they
I
go
don't
again.
think it's wet enough. Emprava's in.
Emprava in.
Now, is this right choice?
Well, this is it. As I said, a lap too long could be a disaster. A lap too early could be a disaster.
Matt's problem there was Smithy was in the pit, so he couldn't opt to pit. So he's had to go around again. Now Smithy's in and out. He can go again. The good thing about the wet conditions is that it will force you to pit. Everyone will have to pit. Smokey is in. When does Ugbar? Ugbar has pitted already, so Bryn is who we're waiting on as well. Stealth Sloth has been in. DJ Phil has been in. So we're just waiting on Laney as well. So what do these guys do? Emprava's gone back out. It's definitely getting wet here now, Kelly, and these two are in a situation that they probably don't want to be in.
Absolutely, and Matt has really kind of drawn the gap down to Ben Parkey. So is Matt just doing a little bit better with the change of conditions? And is he just finding it a little bit easier?
There's Spray.
I'm sure these two are going to pit this lap. They're going to have to, aren't they?
Yeah, we have Spray. There's Dean.
Wet.
There's Dean in front. Has he got grip compared to these two? Matt's able to stay tighter.
He has,
so and he's got to run.
Grip.
He's got to run here. Dean weaving all over the place. He doesn't have to get out of the way, but at this stage, this is really going to affect the race lead, and there's proper Spray here. Matt right onto the back of Ben, and he taps him.
Right on. Dean gets out of the way. Good thing to do. It's not his fight. He gets out of the way. He's been around long enough, 100 races.
The question is, has Emprava pulled a master stroke? Well, these two are struggling through the final sector with grip. Look at these two. They're twitching. Dean's right onto the back.
Yeah, Dean, we think, has changed his tyres. Look, Matt's got to run up the hill.
Oh,
they touch.
Oh, this is going to be helping. This is going to be helping Emprava out massively, and Laney as well. It's been left out there on his own, and he's got Emprava right behind him. If we go back to Laney.
Yep.
There's Laney, there's Emprava. He's on the wets, and he's just reeled him in.
Yes, he certainly
Look at Laney struggle.
Laney.
He's going
Laney's
wide.
off. He's off. He's in the gravel. He's managed to get, well, that could have been a lot worse.
Matt
these
and Ben
guys
are
in the pits.
Right.
Matt's in the pits. Ben's in
Where
the pits.
is Emprava? That is the question. He's coming through the second to last chicane. I think he's going to take the race lead here.
Yeah, I think there could have been a master stroke. That could have been the lap early that I was talking about. These boys could have been a lap too late, as
these boys are changing tyres. Looks like Ben's crew a bit quicker. Looks like Ben's crew a little bit quicker, but it looks like Emprava is going to lead this race.
He's coming around the final corner.
Ben's moving. This is going to be close. This is going to be so close.
Emplava's going to take this. Oh, it is going to be
Oh,
close.
I don't know. Ben's got a better pit stop. Emplava coming at full speed. He's jumped Matt. Can he get Ben? He's got a temperature in those tyres already. I've seen Matt's testing in the wet, and he does look pretty good. Now, can he get those tyres up to temperature? He's got a bit of time to catch. Laney is finally in.
Yeah, for Laney, this was all compromised by his jump start. He's struggling now. Excuse me. And Emplava, as you said, has had a lap on these tyres. Although Ben's probably getting the feel for it very quickly. As he sees that Audi lurking in his mirrors, nice and wide, and he knows Emplava's a threat. We'll see how Matt gets up to pace. As I said, this is going to be a race of two halves for sure. We've got 4 laps to go, and it's still out of these top 3, really, isn't it? You know, any one of these 3 can win this.
But all these 3 could connect one another, and next thing you know, Smokey's in for a chance here. So anything can still happen. Laney has pitted and has exited, and he's just come out behind Welshie. Welshie's had a fantastic race. Look at him up to 5th place. Brilliant stuff from him.
Absolutely, yep. And going along steady. And this guy having a good race as well. Smoky Devil picking up the pieces out of other people's mistakes.
Sorry, Kelly. Emplava got within half a second there. He's getting closer and closer to Ben. Ben just doesn't seem to have the overall speed that Emplava has in the Audi. And looks like Ben's struggling a little bit here in the wet conditions.
Yes, it also looks like Matt is as well. Matt's just dropping back a little bit. He's kind of staying with them, but he is dropping away. I don't think he's got the same kind of pace as these 2 boys have at the moment. And this is what we learn, isn't it? The first time we go to wet, who's got that pace? That was Emplava all over the curbs. That where I wouldn't want to be there, would you, in the wet?
Oh, Ben dropped it! And he's hit Emplava!
Emplava's collected him.
This puts
Matt right back in it.
Look at that puddle as well. The puddle's forming. Yeah. So Matt has got himself back into this fight. Emplava just hangs on to second. Matt is now right onto the bumper of him. This is really hotting up. As Mate's Gamer Joy's in the evening saying, evening all, well, this looks pretty wet. Oh, Matt has gone down. Sorry. Yeah, carry on, Kelly.
Yeah, Matt down the inside round turn 1. He's got it done. Emplava's drifted away from the corner, and Matt's got it done. Can he hold it all together? I think Ben Parkey had a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card there. He got into a spin, and Emplava collected him, and he managed to get out of it scot-free. But now Matt is looking racy.
Matt is looking racy. Has Ben sustained any damage from Emplava hitting the back of him, and same vice versa to him? Has he got damage as well? What other fights are going on? Not really much going on. Emplava still in 3rd, Smokey in 4th. Laney has moved up into 5th after losing out, after gaining on Welshie. Ukbar losing out with the damage to 7th. Stealth Sloth up into 8th. Stuff place. A good race from Stealth Sloth. 9th play for Bryn. Smithy in 10th. 11th is Dean, and DJ Phil brings up the rear. But as you see here, Smithy's looking to make a move on Bryn.
Yeah, Rainmeister is probably too far behind when the rain came for it to make a good result for Smithy. But
he did caught up in the he did get caught up with the incident with DJ Phil earlier on. As Bryn looks down the inside, he looks up to make a move, but he's not quite close enough to do so. But Smithy, careful not to cut that corner, Smithy.
I'm surprised to see all those tyres where they're supposed to be, you know, because usually they get scattered all over on this track, but the boys haven't managed to knock them about. So Bryn having a look, and running wide, Bryn way past the apex. What's happening at the front? Still Ben Parkey manages to hold on to this with the increased pressure of Matt and of Emplava as well. He's I don't know, maybe got this one under control, Dan?
I'm not sure. Ben seems to struggle in this final sector here, as you can see. Matt seems to have a better edge, and this puddle here is forming and is running a little bit wide. Keeping you awake, will be Kelly?
Yeah, sorry, it's been a very long day. I do apologise to you, Dan, and to everyone on stream. I didn't mean to be yawning when there's such great action going on. And you're quite right, that last corner, that puddle really is a problem now, and it's just going to get worse. Let's have a look on
what's happened to Smithy. What's happened to Smithy? He's dropped back behind Bryn. He's lost out to him. Where are they on track? They're having a little ding dong here,
aren't they? Just yep, having a bit of a tussle for the 9th and 10th places, and Yeah, it's treacherous out there, and they're feeling it. I was going to go on board, see, with bonnet cam and try and get an idea of the spray.
Lamborghini off in the foreground as well. So Bryn and Smithy are catching on to the back of Stealth Sloth. They're starting to gain a little bit of time. The other thing they got to worry about is the race leaders are now starting to catch these three, and they've got to be a bit cautious about them. We're on lap 12. Oh, these guys are on lap 12.
Close again. Sorry,
Matt
Dan.
is very
Matt's
close.
close again. He's brought that gap down. He's certainly finding his groove now for these wet conditions, and he's brought that gap right down. He's within 0.3 of a second exactly when I looked last, and yeah, look at that last. You've got to start taking some care on some of these corners as these puddles start to build.
Well, the other thing that we've also learned recently as well, Kelly, is that tyre wear is quite high here at Bruno, especially for these GT cars, and at this minute they got to start. Well, the tyre wear is probably gone now from them. They don't have to worry about it because they can go to the end. But which car's looking after the tyres better? Dean, for his 100th race, is in the pits again, so he's not had the race that he would have wanted. And it's good knowledge for Andy and Disco right now to see that their cars are struggling right now.
Yes, indeed, and you know what it's like, though, Dan. Can also be about setup, and if you've got that touch for the wet, you know, all of those things will be relevant, and we'll see tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow night,
Ben.
8 o'clock.
Sorry there, Kelly, as Ben goes through the puddle, he then goes wide onto the curb and has a big snap on the exit. They're matching these two, matching one another. Ben Prava just doesn't seem to have the pace to keep with them. As Ben sounded like he went really wide in turn one, but he gets the cut back. Here's the fight between Bryn and Stealth.
Yeah, they're just in front of the leaders as well. As Stealth goes off there a little bit. Smithy's cleared these two and off away in the distance a little bit now. As Bryn goes in deep and Stealth, and here come the leaders to
this
lap
is not
these
what
guys
Ben and Matt want to be seeing right now. They do not want to be seeing two back markers battling it out as Stealth Sloth is trying to get out the way, and I think he does so.
Well, no, he didn't.
Not quite. He's coming back across and he sees Ben at the last minute. Ben has nowhere to go. We're not looking at Ben. Ben's managed to get past him. Stealth Sloth has split the leaders. Stealth Sloth is lifted. Yes, he has. Matt's managed to clear him. Now they've got to clear Bryn. Oh my god.
I bet they had a bit of a moment there, you know. It's not the best place to overtake a back marker just there, and Matt managed to do it really well. It's Matt has not done well out of the traffic. He's dropped back a little bit, but he has got through cleanly as Bryn goes out of the outside, right out of the way of Ben Parkey, and Matt's coming up next. Bryn knows that, and he tucks back in behind Ben at the moment, and yeah, let's hope he doesn't hit the back of Ben. And
as Bryn does run wide, he's going to allow Matt to go through as well. He's going to make sure he's going to make sure he doesn't let Stealth Sloth through at the same time, but he doesn't do so as he got another lapped car they're coming up to. That will be Smithy. Now, here's the thing: if they do catch Smithy, can Smithy hold Ben Parkey up just a little bit to help back him up into Matt? Again, the rules here at Simplay Motorsport is the lap cars do not have to get out of the way. If they want to, they can, but at this stage, Matt is just struggling now at this stage. Looks like Ben has the edge now, as we got McLaren in the middle of the road, of DJ Phil, I think. Yep, and he's managed to move it out the way.
Right out of the way. Yep. Good move there from Phil. Stay right out of the way. As we're into the final lap, Dan. And that race has kind of gone quite quickly, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
As you say, Ben's now coming up to the back of Smithy. So is Smithy going to play a part? Just like you said, endurance rules is the ones we play. He has he doesn't have to get out of the way. It's not obliged to. No blue flags. Is he going to hold up Ben Parkey just so Matt gets a run at him? Well, you know, it wouldn't be unusual. Teammates are there to help each other when they can.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
But how much is Smithy going to help Matt here? Is he just going to hold up? We will see in half a lap if what's going to happen. Smithy is on the brakes a lot there. He's just is he going to hold Ben up? He's holding the inside there. Matt's getting closer. No.
Yep. Smithy's gone wide. No, he's still there.
He is still there. Ben not able to find a way past, and he chops the door there.
Yeah, it does a bit of a duffing chop there. I wonder who he learnt that off. So, yeah. And, yeah, but now he runs wide and stays wide, lets his teammate through. This has brought Matt back into play just a little bit, but probably not enough to bother Ben in the last closing sessions of this last lap. I think Ben's got this under control.
Well, we've still got the final corner to negotiate that big puddle.
We have.
But at the minute, Ben is looking like he's going to take another win here at Simplay, but he's got Matt breathing down his neck. Smithy has done a Sergio Perez and held him up for as long as he can without causing too much hindrance. Matt needs to get this last couple of corners bang on. He knows Ben struggles in the corner, the final corner, where the puddle is. What can Matt do? I don't think he's close enough. I think Ben's going to hang on.
Yes, indeed. Oh, no, Ben's got really deep as soon as you called it, Dan. As soon as you called it, oh, look at this. He's just been given a Christmas present.
Wow.
Matt's been giving himself a huge Christmas present.
Ben's hanging it sideways. He's trying.
He's trying anything. Anything and
God.
everything. Oh, what an end.
Wow.
What an end to that race.
Wow.
Oh, that was epic.
So Matt Tahimovic takes the win on the very last corner here. Ben will come home in second. He will be absolutely kicking himself with that one. Emprava comes home in third. Where is Smoky Devil? He's then the next man to come across the line in fourth place position. Bryn finishes in ninth. Smithy in eighth. Stelsoff in 10th. As Smokey's dropped it.
Smokey.
Ooh, you don't want to be in the wall, mate. You just come across the line. Smokey with a solid job in fourth place. Well done to him.
Indeed.
So he goes there in that fourth place position. Alaney is going to come home in that fifth place position. Who is just ahead of him? I'm not quite sure who that is. There is a fight still going on between Ukbar and Welshie in the background. So there's a fight for the 8th position. Currently the top 6 will not be able to qualify. So this is important. Whoever gets ahead will be able to whoever finishes behind will be able to qualify, and at this minute Ukbar will be able to, but he wants the points. Can he get past Welshie?
Wow. What do you do, Dan? What do you do? Do you push and pass, or do you take that chance of being? He could well be on pole. Ukbar's got the pace.
Ukbar going around the outside. He looks to try and do it, but with these crazy conditions at the minute, anything can happen. And Welshie defending for his life here. He wants those extra points, and I think he's going to hang on. He just needs to nail the final corner. Well, I say that. And we saw what happened. Ukbar with the run. Can he get past towards the line? Who's going to get it? It's Welshie.
Oh, it's just Welshie. Whoa, that was a close one. That was a very close one. I wondered if that's the right move or not. But
I think DJ Phil is the only one who's not finished. I think he's parked up. Yeah, he has. So it goes the way of Matt Tahimovic, who takes the win here at Bruno. And congratulations to him right on the last corner. He does so.
Yep.
Ben Parkey comes home in second place with Emprava in third. Fourth goes the way of Smoky Devil. Fifth goes the way of Laney. Sixth is Welshie. Seventh is Ukbar. Eighth is Smithy. Ninth goes the way of Bryn. 10th is Stel Sloth. Then we have Dean Wasocki in 11th and DJ Phil in 12th place position. Fastest lap went the way of Emprava with a 2 minutes 6. So he gets the extra point.
Like it. Yep.
He gets the extra point.
Yes. Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dan. That was. I'm just reading Disco's comments saying about Mick Hakkinen going off for a cry in the woods. I thought that was a bit reminiscent of Sebastian Vettel and Jenson Button in that epic race at Canada, where Vettel just lost it right in the last couple of corners on the last lap. I thought it was kind of reminiscent of that one a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit, but that is your race 1. Matt takes the win. The top 6 can't qualify, so Welshie, Laney, Smoky Devil, Emprava, Ben Parkey, and Matovic will not be able to qualify for race 2. Make sure you tune in a moment's time where we will get a race 2 underway, and we will have a chat with the top 3, and what an interesting chat that will be. Make sure you join us in a second. Grab a copy, grab some food. We'll be back momentarily. and we're clear, I think. Yeah, that was good.
Scrapping going on, isn't it?
Right, I need a wee.
Yeah, me too. Well done, Ed.
That was intense.
Yeah, yeah, had some fun there, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was a great race. Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Matt.
Well done, Matt.
Must have been must have been a nice little Christmas present for you, that one, wasn't it? Door open. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Last week he dropped it on the last lap. This time he won it.
Yeah. I am monkey boy under the weather, yeah, mate. Yeah, I know. Oh my days.
Matt, look how your luck changed in 1 week. Last week you dropped it on the
Hey,
last lap.
second race to go yet, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm running on fumes here. I'm ready for my bed.
Yeah, that rain must have done you no favours.
The rain actually made it easier to drive. I don't know if you could tell, I started to struggle in a bit of that.
Well done, Ben.
Hey up.
All right, mate.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well done, buddy.
Great one to watch, guys.
I didn't know it was going to rain. I had to change my pit strategy while I was driving. I don't know if it was the same for everyone, but that was funny.
Nah, Smithy was slip box. I was meant to pit a lap before I did.
Right, I'm going to the loo a minute.
Yeah, same here.
Who have we got in here? Unlucky, Ben.
Yeah, all went to shit in the last corner. I was like, oh, where's the corner? Oh shit, too late.
Not good. I bet you were kicking yourself.
Oh, I started laughing too much and I nearly lost it on the last corner because I was laughing too much. I just buried the throttle, hit like 2 puddles. It was just no, that was a good crack though. That was good fun.
Yeah, I saw you had a little rub with Matt earlier on.
Yeah, I think he started to slide and I didn't react quick enough. I nudged him, helped him spin.
Yeah.
I thought I've got to let him back through because yeah, still I could have probably avoided it. So yeah.
No, you did the right thing there, mate. Let him back through, and then you were back on him again. So, no, it was great from all three of you, from Matt, Emplava, and yourself. It was awesome racing to watch. Loved it.
Oh, good.
It was
First
great
lap
finishing.
First lap was epic as well when Laney was in there as well with you guys.
Yeah, it's a shame he got a jump start because he would definitely been giving us some hassle. Definitely.
Yeah.
He was right in front of me. I almost jumped too because I reacted to his car moving.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've done that before.
They all spun.
Yeah.
Well, we all two spun, didn't they? Yeah. It looked like Matt was having like one of those really long slides, and I didn't know if he was going to catch it or not. So I didn't.
Well done.
I probably didn't react quick enough. But yeah, I definitely helped him spin. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Do you
You
know
were so
if
close to it. I was commenting commenting through it how lap after lap you were in like quarter of a second of him. Do you know what I mean? And the two of you going at it are great driving. Do you know what I mean? The pair of you, you'd be that close, and implying the pressure and Matt absorbing the pressure. It was great to watch that one.
Yeah, he completely took it. I was on his arse, and he didn't bat an eyelid. It was brilliant.
No, he's probably just took his mirrors off.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just knock the mirrors off. Don't need them.
I'm going to turn that bloody pit spotter off as well. He's a pain in the arse. 2 lengths behind, 1 length behind. Oh, shit.
Oh God, no, I can't be dealing with that. Yeah. If you're so clever, you get in and drive the bloody car.
He was just saying that, man. Ben, do you know if Nicky will be joining us?
He said he might make it for race 2.
He's such a flake, isn't he?
Yeah, he's bloody shopping. And then told him to push the trolley faster, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully he'll make it.
Lost track of time. What a flake.
Let's just stall as much as we can. I'll just talk crap
currently,
for about an hour if you like.
Well, currently Matt's trying to take some drugs, so he's going to take a while. So, and also I'm trying to see if Smokey's able to connect, because at the minute he keeps disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, connecting. There's always race 2. He seems to struggle to get in.
Thank you.
I could not believe that. That was fucking brilliant.
That was great racing. That was the ones,
one of
those ones where you really enjoyed commentating it.
All you need is a bit of rain to spice things up.
Yeah, I love all that because I've not really know the track that well. I think the last time I went around this track was back in Formula Renault.
Yeah.
With you, I think it was with you, Dan. Actually,
yeah.
That was a cracking race. And then, winged it. But no, that was great fun.
Yeah, great one to watch.
Yeah, I watched that one back for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, you two were like separated by like half a second, then a second, then back to a half a second again. There was one point I think you were in Matt's boot at one point, and then you were then he was then up in your boot, and when it got wet.
I thought a few times, shall I just send it? I thought this is too much. We're having a good race. I'm just gonna not try and do anything leery. Because I wasn't that confident. I've not done a lot of practice again, so I didn't want to.
I'll tell you what.
It and then end up with egg on my face.
With your lack of practicing, is really because Matt is sweating it out every single time to stick with you, and with your lack of practice, it's producing something great. And now Emprava as well, mate. You're in there as well. You've got the pace to stick with them, and it's. I think it's between you.
So
you three and Laney. If he doesn't mess up the starts, then it's between you four towards the end of the season.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to be a cracking one.
Yeah.
I can't join, saying to fail game, tried several times, going to restart again.
if the work schedule works out, I'll do as many as I can, but hopefully I can carry on for a few more.
If Emprava's listening as well, whoever makes it up in the top 3, you'll be promoted up into pro for next season. So it'll be on a Thursday night you'll be racing.
Yeah, you'll be having my spot.
Well, my shifts change every week because I'm on 4 on 4 off, so that's why it's difficult for me to commit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of have to do this free and easy a bit. That's why I don't practice a lot, because I don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, well, even
it's good fun at the end of the day. So.
Oh, he's back.
He's dying. He's told me.
Fucking hell.
Haley's just the same. She's sick as a dog, and yeah, it's awful.
Right. I've stalled long enough. Smokey's trying to get back in, so I think
Who are we
just
missing at the minute?
Nicky and Smokey.
Yeah,
that
Nick is
it?
still quiet at the minute. I've not heard anything back from him.
How many do we have in race 1? 12.
12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Stealth Sloth,
10.
as he's there.
Ben's not in neither.
Oh, Ben, you want to join the session, mate?
Oh shit!
If you want to race it.
I forgot that was even going on. I thought it was in a hiatus. Invitation. No, it's 9 minutes ago. That'll be it.
That's the one.
There we go.
Right.
Is he going to rate this one?
Yep.
Waiting for race start, it says.
Right. If Nicky gets in, he gets in. If Smokey gets in, he gets in as well. Are we going live as soon as it goes into the garage, man?
As soon as it goes into the garage, I'll point to you on my phone when we're live.
Alright.
What's the closest to a swear word I can get away with? On the,
Darn.
Shoot.
What about bugger?
I reckon you get away with bugger.
Yeah, you get away with that.
I wouldn't want to be buggered.
Although, to be fair, it's after 9 o'clock, mate, so the water's
Kelly?
over, so...
Yeah.
Was that less questionable this week? Yeah. Are we
Yeah,
happy with
much
that
less
one?
questionable.
Sweet. Cheers, bud.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't see the duffing chop.
Thought about it a couple of times.
I think Smithy did one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Simplay Motorsport, and what a race one we have just experienced. Just before we get on to the top three and talking to them, the current standings have been updated. Matimovic still leads the way, and he's extended his lead by 20 points to Enprava in second, 150 points to Matt, 130 to Enprava. Third place is Ben Parkey. Without the double points, he's bringing that gap down. He's 56 points behind Matt. Laney in fourth with on 83 and 67 behind. Both of them still yet to take their double points, and Ukbar in fifth place also still yet to take his double points with 70 points. Smithy still in sixth place position, and Iokura with 65 points. He's with his double points out of the way, he's trying to claw on to that top six position as he possibly can, with Welshie still yet to use his 53 points back on 53 points. 8th place is Smokey Devil with 52 points. 9th is Dean Wasocki with 40 points, tied with his teammate in 10th, Bryn, both on 40 points now. And Stelsov in 11th at 36 points. Nicky in 12th, still yet to turn up if he's done shopping, on 30 points. DJ Phil at the back on 13 points, and still that Buzzy Boy Chocolate Man unable to score any points and appear. For the teams, it looks like this. Sweet and Sour Motorsport lead the way with 215 points to Audi Sports 130 points, with Team Prolapse in third on 113. So Sweet and Sour Motorsport with a demanding lead at the minute. Rainbow Prolapse with Ben on his own on 94 points in fourth place, and MC Motorsport not too far behind on 89 points. Not Fast Just Furious BMW on 80 points. Metal and Racing of Ukbar on his own on 70. It was Smokey Devil Racing in the oh god, I forgot what number that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position, with Powerline Racing 9th, of DJ Phil in last place position. And we got the top three in us with us right now, and we'll start with M Prava. And mate, I just want to say, between the three of you and just all of you, what a fantastic race that you guys produced. It was awesome to watch from our end. What was it like from your end?
Yeah, it was really exciting. Unfortunately, I got collected a few times, but that's racing, nothing to do. Yeah, I was trying to drive my race, and I thought that I will make up the positions when the guys start fighting. It almost happened, but not really.
What did you find about the conditions? Obviously, it started off dry and then went to wet. How was the Audi in the changeable conditions? Did it feel alright in the wet, or was it lacking a little bit of pace?
For me, the feeling was really good in the car in both conditions. Maybe the setup would be better in the wet, would be better, but you can't drive a mix of the setup really fast. Go on.
And are you a fan of the wet conditions? Something you like, or not?
When it goes well, I like it. Yeah.
When it doesn't go well, you don't like it.
Yeah, then I hate it.
Yeah, fair comment.
I like the car. Maybe when it slides, it makes me concentrate more, so I don't relax too much. I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done.
Well, congratulations on P3. Going into race 2, looks like the dry to wet conditions are still lingering around. What can you do in this race?
I mean, I can do the same, just have to beat at the right time, as I did in the first race, and then everything can happen when the tarmac is wet.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and hope that it all pans your way in race 2, mate.
Thanks.
Yep, good
So
luck.
we then move on to Ben Parkey, and Ben, obviously, congratulations again on second place, but you must be completely frustrated about losing it on the second to last corner on the last lap. That must have been gutting for you.
Yeah, I feel like a plonker, but it was good fun, so it doesn't matter.
How did the McLaren feel in the wet conditions? Obviously in the dry you seem to have the edge over Matt, but as soon as it got wet it seemed to be like a level playing field a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely mixed it up a bit, which was great. But I'd not even done any practice in the wet, so I was trying to compensate for that, I suppose. But yeah, I just enjoyed it, so it doesn't matter. It was good fun.
How much concentration does it take to be within like a quarter of a second of someone for quite so many laps? We went on board with you, and it was so close. You were just looking at the back of that Acura for so long. That must take huge concentration. And also, were you feeling the wash, the dirty air of that Acura?
Yeah. So what I was doing to compensate again for my lack of track and practice, I was braking earlier than he was, but then I was able to carry a bit more speed to the apex, so it made it a bit safer when I got close to him, apart from the time I hit him. But generally, yeah, if you look back, I was braking a bit earlier, just to give myself and him that breathing room. I didn't want to just slam into the back of him.
It was fantastic to watch. Yeah,
good. Yeah, it was great fun to race with him as well. He's a safe pair of hands as well, so apart from me ramming him off, it was, good.
Absolutely.
Obviously, but this season's looking like it's going to go between yourself, Matt, Ben Plava, and also Laney. It's been a great fight so far. Obviously, these reverse grids as well, something new for you to deal with. How are you going to go into race 2 with looks like similar conditions on the way?
I think I'll do what I did with Watkins Glen and just give everyone a wide berth.
Sounds good.
Just chill out. It's a long lap in these bloody things, so yeah, just chill and take it as it comes. Really. Hopefully, Lane doesn't make a jump start again, because he'll definitely be in the mix.
Yes, he will.
We wish you the best of luck for race 2, mate, and we'll hopefully speak to you later.
Cheers, mate. See you at Monza.
Yeah, I'll see you at Monza. And then we move on to the race winner, Matt Imovic. Congratulations on another race win in the Pro-Am. I bet you was not expecting that.
Not at all, no. That was a tough one. Ben made that hard, and I said 2 weeks ago at Watkins Glen that I did 2 or 3 laps with Ben, and I realised then I could race him, and yeah, that was hard.
Matt, I'm going to ask you a similar question to what I said to Ben. How do you keep your concentration when you've got someone like Ben Parkey a quarter of a second behind you for so long? Are you just focusing forwards, or are you watching him? How do you do that?
You're kind of glancing in your mirrors every second, but I kind of learned
You've got to hit
last
those
week.
lines.
I was too busy watching Emplava last week, and especially in race 2 when I span and hit the wall, and that was probably something that cost me. Where this week I sort of glanced at Ben, knew that he wasn't making a move, and saw that he was braking a bit earlier into the corners than me, so I was able to just get round and cover him. And then when we did go side by side, it's hard. If I could have one eye up on my rear view mirror and one eye focused on the road ahead of me, I'd be all right. But yeah, no, it's when Ben's that close to you, it's some serious tough work.
Absolutely. Sorry, Dan, go on.
I was just going to say, how did it feel running? Did the car feel better in the dry or in the wet? The Acura seems to be a little bit stronger in the wet.
Car felt nice all night. As you know, I've worked on a setup all weekend to try and get it right, because I've just not gelled with this Trek at all. And car felt nice all night. Felt better in the wet. But I tell you what, the minute Ben got past, there was no rest, because I thought if I back off and wait for the rain, he's just going to go and pull that bigger gap on me. I need to have him to keep with him, and you know, thankfully I did.
Well, rain's forecast on the way. You're starting in last place for the reverse grid. What's your plan going into it?
See what happens. We'll see what happens. I'd love another race win. I'd love another podium. Laney and Ben and Plava start in front of me, and they've all got some serious pace. If Laney could jump the start again, that'd be much appreciated, because that helped in race 1. But no, get to the front as quick as possible, and hopefully have another cracking drive with Ben and the rest of the guys. And just want to say well done to Ben and N for that, because that was a cracking battle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, congratulations to all three of you. We'll let you get back to your parties and in your sessions. We're just about to come to the end of
Dan,
qualifying. Yeah.
Just before I go, Dan, can't wait to see Ben Parker beat you at Monza.
Oh my god.
Tune in for that one. That's.
I have heard he has broken the record in the LMP, so yeah, I'm not feeling too confident about that.
You'll be fine. Max downforce.
I'm doing the opposite, no downforce. Anyway,
Tune in for that one.
I've got to do something different to beat you. But anyway, Ukbar currently the fastest man of this session, and he looks to be improving, and he is on pole at this stage. We did have rain at the start, and it is drying out, so whoever's last on track will be fastest. And Stelsloff and DJ Phil, the only ones left out on track. And Stelsloff coming through the middle sector now, DJ Phil in the final sector. But Kelly, we got rain lurking again. Quali's been wet. It's dried out a little bit, but is it going to be dry enough later on, as Stelsloff goes into 3rd place? Sorry, DJ Phil, goes into 4th place as he crosses the line. So
yes, Dan, and I've been keeping my eye on qualifying while we've been doing the interviews, and just about everybody, I think bar DJ Phil, had a bit of a spin. As we still stealth into the gravel, I think everybody had a bit of a spin in their first lap out. So it seems to have got drier as the session has gone on, and so these guys, considering they've just come off the back of a wet race, seem to be struggling a little bit. But it's Ukbar on pole from Dean on his 101 race. So that'll be nice for him to start from the front row. Stealth makes it into 3rd place with DJ Phil in 4th. Surprised. I was hoping to see Smithy was going to do a bit better than that, but I don't think he had the best of runs through that qualifying session. Smokey's got back in, which is good news. He comes in 6th, first of the non-qualifiers. Ben Parkey, Welshie, Laney, Bryn, and Emplava and Matt make up the back row. So game on, Dan. I'm looking forward to another good one.
Just to comment on that one as well, Bryn did not able to get a decent lap time. He was the other driver who was allowed to qualify, so he never got a decent lap time in. So he actually starts in 10th place when he should have been a little bit higher up. But that gives Smokey Devil an extra position. It is nice to see that we got Smokey in. Sadly, Mickey will not be able to make it here, so we will not see Mickey. He's still picking up his Weetabix. Yep, he's still picking up his Weetabix.
He's still shopping at Boys R Us, and I'm sure he'll be done in a bit.
But it is Ukbar on pole position. We are here for round 4 of the championship, round 8 of the season. Pro-Am. Matt has got the lead of the championship. Can Emprava and Ben Parkey, even Laney, bring that gap down? Can Laney not jump the start? That's the other question. And Matt, he's got a lot of work to do at the back there. Kelly, prediction on the race winner?
Hard to say, Dan, to be honest. I'm going to say possibly Laney, but there's a lot. All the quick guys are at the back, so we've got who's the highest quick one? So yeah, you've got Laney, you've got Matt, you've got Ben Parkey in 7th. That's a good place to start. Who knows, Dan? Who knows? Got to get through turn 1. Then you've got to get through the rain. I'm going to go Laney, but I tell you what, that is a random guess.
I'm going for Ukbar on this one. He seems to have decent conditions. Yep. He got decent setup. He just got caught up in a little bit of incidents. Guys, get your predictions on who you think is going to win this race, and also hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. We are about to get underway here for the second race of the night here in the Pro-Am Simplay Motorsport GT3 Championship. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will be heading out on track, and there is rain forecast for tomorrow night as well. Wow. So anything could happen.
Anything could, and we hope it will.
As we are about to get underway here, the lights come on. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3 red lights. And we go here at Bruno, and it looks like Smithy got a flyer there from the middle, but it's Dean Wasaki who pulls away into the lead into turn 1. Who else has got a decent start about? Well, Smokey's rubbing with Welshie. He's had a poor start, but Bryn looking down the inside of Smokey. He's made contact with Welshie. Welshie's round. That's hit Matt. Matt's caught up in instance. Laney's round as well. And Bravo's managed to get away with that one. Laney's in the gravel. What else is going on? Go back to the front. Bryn has spun round. Matt, has he got damage? That is the question. But Ugbar is now trying to find a way on Dean as Ben's trying to make a way through. But here comes Smithy down the inside of Ugbar. Ugbar's going to battle it out, but I think they've come together. They have. They've gone wide. The camera's gone all messed up here. A typical Bruno classic style. But Ben is up into second.
Yes, he is. Fantastic start for him, and I'm going to apologise to Laney here and
DJ
now
Phil.
because as DJ Phil off into the gravel, that gives Matt another position. So it hasn't gone badly for Matt, it's gone brilliantly for Ben, and he's now on the back of Dean, who's leading this race at the moment. Love to see Dean win this one in his 101st race, but he's got Ben Parkey all over him, and as I said, I apologise to Laney for backing him for the win. The commentator's curse is real.
It is real, as Matt has now cleared Stealth Sloth. He is now just behind Ben, but Ben's looking to make a move on Dean. Dean on the outside, Ben on the inside. Can Ben be brave enough onto the inside? He does. He goes a little bit deep, but he should be able to bring that back. But Dean's coming back down the inside. Is he able to get an overlap on Ben? I think Ben's got the inside covered, and I think he will get away with that one. So Ben moves up into the race lead. Matt needs to stick with Ben as quickly as he possibly can. Emprava now moving to make on Stealth Sloth. Smokey just behind them, and Ugbar recovering as well. So Ugbar caught up with an incident with Smithy earlier on, but managed to come away unscathed as lap 1 is done and dusted. Stealth Sloth coming back at Emprava though.
Yeah, he was late on the brakes for Stealth, but he managed to get it slowed down, you know. So yeah, Emprava having to clear Stealth, but Stealth putting the fight up for certain sure. Smokey on the back of these two as well, and in close company just behind Ugbar's run is a little bit back and got lots of work to do, but the man that's having an absolute shocker of a round is Laney, back in 12th after that first lap incident. Wasn't his fault, but got kind of caught up in it, unfortunately.
Yes, he did, and he has a lot of recovery to do. At lap 4 is the pit window, and Matt has made a move on Dean Wasaki. Emprava has made a move on Stealth Sloth as well. So your top 3 in the championship are battling their way through, and Smokey looking right round the outside of Stealth Sloth, and he's trying to get the position done as Smokey comes around now. And he's on the back of Stealth Sloth there, and he's really looking to try and make a move on the inside. He's unable to do so there, so Smokey has to wait a little bit longer. So it's Ben, Matt, Dean, Emprava, Stealth, Smokey, Ugbar, Welshie, Smithy, DJ Phil, Bryn, and Laney is your top 12.
Yes, indeed. As Stealth goes wide, Smokey doesn't need a second opportunity. He's straight through and got that job done. So Stealth is now going to be looking at his mirrors because the Flying Dutchman is coming up behind him. Emplava is now onto the back of Dean and chasing down Dean for the P3. And yeah, it's normal. It's yeah, normal services resumed, isn't it? Within Dean's round. Emplava has managed to
has everyone managed to avoid him?
Minute.
So Dean's managed to get going again. So everyone's managed to avoid a spinning Dean. So he's back on track.
As I said, was just saying, within 2 laps, it's normal service is resumed. So it's Ben from Matt.
Oh, someone's taking out the tyres.
Is that Stealth, I think? Yep, Stealth round in the background. And yeah, coming to a halt, doing the right thing, letting the pack through. And excuse me. And Ugbar is now catching Smokey as the best of the rest. Laney's made 1 position back over DJ Phil.
Oh no, Laney's off
as well. It never rains, but it pours. Well, it'll rain later. And yeah, having a shocker and scatting those tyres on the track. We're going to have to look out for that as the leaders come through and see that tyres on the track. So yeah, Laney having an absolute shocker. And
It's because he hasn't got his Prolapse teammate looking after and defending him, but it is Ben who leads the way, and he's extending that gap. Matt with no real threat at the minute in second place, and Emprava in third. Emprava will try and want to bring that gap down to his championship rival, who leads the championship at the minute. So it's really between these two, but Ben's still yet to take his double points, so it's all still playful for Ben. He can still claw the points back.
Oh, look at that. And I've got a great bit of camera work. You can do that in the first couple of laps, you know.
Kelly finally getting the hang of the cameras.
Yeah, it's only taken me 3 seasons, don't worry about it. Ugbar in close company now with Smokey. He's chasing him down. Looks like the closest race on track at the moment, as Ben has got 5 seconds. Yes, mate.
Did I just see a spot of rain?
I don't know, did you?
It looked like to me there was rain was coming. I think rain's coming down.
Yes, it
the
is.
rain's come early this time. So.
Oh, what a surprise!
And the pit window opens. Pit window opens on lap 4. So what do these guys do? They're gonna have to go a little bit longer, but I don't know what the rules are. I reckon they can get away with it, but the rain has come. Lap 4 is the pit window, but I don't think it's wet enough anyway to come in for a pit. Now the problem is your teammate is going to be stuck in the pits, while the other one will have to go around again. Ben is fine, Laney fine, Smokey fine, Ugbar fine. They're all on their own, but it's going to be more difficult for the others.
Yeah, absolutely, you're quite right. And being that we're early doors in this race, the field spread means that those guys with teammates are going to have to fight it out about who's going to have the first pit stop. But we're into lap 4, so there's no problem with the pit window. And I must admit, I don't know the rules on this one either. And if it gets wet quickly in the first couple of laps, is it a justified pit stop? I don't know. Maybe someone who knows the rules very well, like Kieran or Mike, might be able to comment on that one.
Well, I believe with changing conditions, they should be able to.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the majority of them are onto the 4th lap, other than Stealth Stuff, who I think is suffering major damage. As Kieran Artis says, pit window doesn't count in changeable conditions. So
that's
there you
what
go.
I thought. Thank you.
So Stealth Stuff has pitted, but I think he's got major damage. But he will be probably putting the wet tyres on at the same time. But Matt is now under pressure. It would make sense.
I mean, it would make sense, and Laney seems to be, sorry, not Laney, Ben Parkey seems to be romping away with this one at the moment. He's extending his gap. He's in the 59s as well, Dan. So, he's obviously making up for being a plonker, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely so. And Matt is just able to just sit in second place at the minute. He has got Emprava breathing down his neck. Matt not able to keep it on the back of him. Kieran says, as I'm aware, but it doesn't matter too much, because most of them are now in the pit window anyway, if it doesn't matter. As we see there, Smokey goes a little bit deep. That's going to allow Ugbar to have a look down the inside. So these two having a good little fight between these two. Scott versus the Dutch, and Ugbar tries to squeeze himself through, but Smokey just holds him back for a minute. What did the guys do now? It is getting heavier. Will Matt and Ben want to get caught out like they did last time, or when Emprava's actually fighting with Matt?
Close.
Oh, very close.
Very close, and as Emprava got it done, and is Matt going to dive? Matt dives in the pit. They both dive into the pits.
There it is straight away.
Matt gets a better run to the pit lane.
He does, but Ben is gone out another lap. Is that a wise choice? That is the question. It got wet pretty quickly here, as majority of the guys are in. Smokey's in as well. Ugbar carries on. He reckons he can go a little bit longer. Dean has carried on. Majority are looking like they're carrying on. I think Welshie is in. Yes, Welshie's in.
The interesting thing there, Dan, was while Matt and Emplava were tripping over themselves and Ben put in a 2:01 and extended the gap to quite some margin by the time these guys even came into the pit lane. As we see, tyre changing takes a lot longer. This ain't no Formula 1 here. Tyre changes take a long time. Emplava's out first. His pit crew are much, much better than Matt's. So
unless they actually change the tyres. That's a common glitch here on Project Cars. Has it actually changed tyres? That's the question. Ben out in front at the minute. What is the track conditions like for him? We just don't know. Welshie's in, Smithy's in, Stealth Sloth has carried on. Bryn's in, DJ Phil's in, and Laney. All these guys are into the pits. Where is Ben at the minute? I think he's coming through here, and look, it's wet in this section as well.
Now.
And he's
gone
round.
Well
oh
caught.
My God!
Well caught. Oh dear,
Is he being a plonker again?
I think that was a Brown moment for him just there. And he's still got a couple of chicanes to go yet, Dan. He's going to be losing time, hand over fist now, as Ugbar was the other one who decided to go on. Ugbar, look, load of opposite log. He's on the grass. It's getting a bit too wet to be out there, isn't it?
He probably had a bit more grip on the grass, and at this minute, Emprava is bringing that gap down. If Emprava has changed onto the wets, which it looks like he has, he's in a very good position here. A very good position.
Absolutely, he could be in net first place.
Where's Ben?
With this one.
Ben is now coming into the pits. It's 36 seconds between him and Emprava. Emprava is in the final sector now, I believe. So it's going to be a close one. I don't know if it's going to be close enough, though. Ben might just have enough.
It really depends on that pit stop and how they get on. It is one of the weak points of this game and this format.
Dean's passed
the pit stops.
Dean's passed Ugbar. Ugbar with a horrid lap there and has lost out to Dean. Dean has now jumped Ugbar. He's come in. And Ugbar should be coming in as well, I believe. So those two.
Dean's on the way out. Ben's on the way out.
Where's Emprava? He's not close enough. He's not close enough. Ben is only now getting onto the circuit now. So we did see Ben struggle a little bit in the wet. So can Emprava bring the gap down to Ben Parkey? That is the question. Matt hasn't really won out in this one. I think the stresses of race one is starting to get to him. Like I said, he is quite unwell, so he's probably just struggling in this race too. So he's probably scoring points.
I believe that was a bit of an horrendous pit stop as well, to be fair. I don't think the pit stop really went his way. Because he went in front of Emplava, and Emplava's crew seemed to be the quicker ones to the deficit look of nearly 4 seconds now. But still, anything can happen, and there's a mistake in all of these guys. So it can still all turn around quite easily as the camera wanted to go to...
Yeah, it does that here in Bruno Kelly. The camera wants to pinpoint one driver in that one section, and it's terrible for it. As Ben once again struggling. Look how much time Emprava has gained. He's found a second on Ben Parkey right now. So the wet conditions suiting the Audi a bit better here.
And Emplava seems to be planted, doesn't he? He seems to be, with Ben looking a little bit ragged
catching him as well.
Certain corners. Yeah. Matt's bringing the gap down as well, so he's starting to get hooked up. Again, Matt and Emplava looking just a little bit more planted than Ben Parkey. Ben Parkey looking a bit leery on the wet conditions. He was a lap longer coming into the pit, so he might be just getting a feel for it. We'll start to see as their lap times start to settle. As we've got the pit stops out of the way and whatever, because you look at the moment, Emplava's showing a 2:41. That was obviously pit stop. Matt was a 2:48. So it's going to take a couple of laps for this to all sort out. But Emplava certainly bringing the gap down. Just a little bit quicker than Matt's bringing the gap down to Emplava. So still all to play for in this race, Dan, as we're halfway through.
Yeah, definitely. So as possibility, Kieran, that Matt had damaged repairs from lap 1 after the contact.
Good point.
He might be just settling back into this race, and as I said, Emprava just seems to have sorted out his issues with the Audi and seems to have a little bit more grip at this stage than the other two. But I think Ben is just needs a lap to get the car back underneath him. What other fights are going on at the minute? Ukbar and Welshie are relatively close at the minute as well, so we want to have a look at what's going on between them. DJ Phil has earned quite a bit as Ukbar's actually lost time to Welshie there. So he's losing out there. Laney's still on a recovery drive. It's not been his night tonight, Laney. With the absence of his teammate, he's not been able to really push the leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, his teammate absent this evening, got caught out with shopping. Don't know if he's had to do his duty, the missus says, something like that. Who knows? But not here tonight, so we miss him. and Laney having to got the weight of Team Prolapse all on his shoulders. And as I said, it's probably a meeting he'll want to forget, to be fair.
Yeah, probably so, as Laney is trying to do his very best to stick to the guys just in front of him, Ukbar and Bryn. Sorry, Welshie, I mean. So he's trying to stick with those guys. The gap between the leaders is somewhat stayed the same. I think actually Emprava has gained a little bit on Ben Parkey. So Emprava's trying to bring that pressure onto Ben right now. Audi Sport, the only Audi driver here, and I think from tonight onwards he will be the only Audi driver here. Sadly, Chocolate Man not able to sign up for he signed up for the season and not able to race, and I think that Bozzy Boy as well will not be finishing the season either, so unlucky for them. So DJ Phil and Emperava will be independents possibly after this race.
Yes, indeed. Audi Sport, not to be confused with Audio Sport, are very generous sponsors. See, that was a good one, wasn't it? See how I kind of linked that in?
Yeah, very clever.
Yeah, smooth that.
Very smooth. Laney looks down the inside of Ukbar, and Ukbar just going a little bit deep. These guys just getting caught out by the wet conditions here. 17 people currently watching as Laney goes down the inside of Ukbar. Just outsmarting the Ginetta driver there and goes down the inside, and a beautiful move done there by Laney. His next target is Welshie. Dean having a much better race 2 here, currently in 5th place, is sticking to at the back of Smokey. He's only 10 seconds back behind him, so can he bring that gap down and give him a little bit of pressure?
It's a pretty car, isn't it? Do you think it's
a
pretty
alright.
car?
It's alright.
It's prettier than the yellow one. Hey, Disco.
I definitely don't like the look of the yellow one. I'm sick of the death of looking at the back of it.
Especially in your rear view, eh, Dan?
No, more like looking at it straight from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
do you know what
I
else?
see it when it's coming to lap me.
I think that car there will look a lot better in white.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Or the way that I'm driving mine would be a lot better in a scrapyard. But hey, I miss my Renault. God, yes, I said it. I miss it.
Kelly, just looking at the lap times, Emprava, the only man in the 109s. The only other man matching him is this man here, Laney. Oh, okay, not that man, but Laney, the only other man to match him. That man, not Brent, but Laney, because the camera's weird here. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Hello, there we go. That man.
That man. Not Batman, that man.
That man, Laney man. As the Laney supporters aren't here, they said they'll see you Wednesday, and they're not here.
Yeah, where is Laney Massive? He must have only had I think he only had a 1 week subscription with Rent a Crowd. So, obviously left him alone this week. I've got better things to do than see him crash. So, the Laney Massive, I'm sure they'll be back next time he can afford it.
Welshie looking down the inside of Laney there, but he's unable to get the job done. Laney goes and into that 6th place position, and Welshie are losing out there. It's not been Laney's night tonight, and he's trying his best to recover as he's now cleared Ukbar and Welshie. The leaders, though, Kelly, are separated by 3 seconds. Emprava, a 2:08. He's lapping near enough a second a lap faster than Ben. Ukbar's gone wide and into the gravel.
Oh, that'll be a mess. That'll be a mess for the fiberglass Ginetta. I'm not going to repair it, that's for certain, sure. So, as you say, and again, just to make sure that he'd done that front corner. That is that front corner done now.
Let's leave Ukbar alone to
let's leave him. Bless him. He's having a bit of a mare. As we go back on Welshie, who's still in close company with Laney. Now, as you say, Emplava is bringing that gap down. Matt's a little bit static at 9 seconds off the lead, but Emplava bringing the gap down 3-4 seconds now, and lapping quicker than the other two, by over a second on Matt, and about 3/4 of a second on Matt, and about a second or so on Ben. So fastest man on track by a long shot, and he's bringing the gap down, but he's only got 5-6 laps to do it now.
Yeah, I feel like the middle sector is where Emprava seems to be finding the time on Ben. There's kind of gone a little bit static here. It's not been his best lap. Ben managing to match him this lap, and there's not real many fights going on other than the Ukbar, Laney and Welshie fight that was going on earlier on, and I think Ukbar will probably be coming into the pits with the damage that he sustained. But Ben now seems to just match Emprava right now, and Matt has just not really got an answer for either of them. Oh, his brain's got big damage.
Yes, he has. Front bumper missing off that BMW, and damage to that one. So he's had an incident somewhere. Who else have we not been on for a while? DJ Phil trundling along in his red McLaren, which always looks to me like a Ferrari in red. But in his red McLaren, Stealth. Smithy behind him was hoping for more from Smithy tonight. Maybe we picked him up too much. Maybe the pressure got to him. Not having the round that maybe we would expect from the Rainmeister.
Well, if you look at the lap times earlier, just then, Kelly, it looks like Ben Parkey was a little bit quicker than Emplava that lap.
He was,
and all the times seemed to just be getting a little bit slower. Matt was actually quite close to matching Ben on the last lap as well. So Matt matching him, but they've kind of gone a little bit static here with the longer rain.
Yeah, it's ebbing and flowing, as a certain commentator says. They're kind of trading lap times, but not moving forward that much.
No, we've had a really exciting race 1, and race 2 just seemed to have just dulled out a little bit. And this gives me an opportunity.
We obviously used up all the excitement, didn't we? I keep coming back to Laney because he is gaining on Dean a bit at a time, and at the moment he's the only one that's really making massive gains at the moment, I believe.
Well,
so,
the gap between Bryn and Ugbar has come down, so Ugbar, with the damage he's got, possibly struggling now, and I think Bryn is actually really close behind him now as they're in the final sector. So if we can switch to that.
Sorry, I was just having a drink at that moment. Beg your pardon.
So you see there, Bryn is right onto the back of Ugbar. Ugbar really struggling with that Janetta. Both of them are, I think.
He's limping, I think. It seems to be. That car seems to be dotting all over the place of Ugbar's. I think he's probably suffering with some left front damage as Bryn does that move reasonably easily, doesn't he?
Yeah, will Ugbar decide to pit this lap? That is the question. As DJ Phil's got massive damage. He's lost the rear wing. Smithy, you want to be careful getting past him as Ugbar does pit. So Ugbar's night has just gone from bad to worse, and I've cursed him in this race. So sorry, Ugbar, for that one. But Smithy moves up into 10th place position, and looks like he might get 9th as well as DJ Phil's trying to get through the final few corners. Look at that puddle in the final corner. A lot of these guys
it's really growing, that one, isn't it? Did they say there's rain around for tomorrow night, Dan?
There is rain lurking around for the pros.
Oh, joy.
So make sure you tune in for tomorrow night, as the pros will be hitting the same circuit. The pros will be hitting Bruno, as we will be looking to try and score some decent points there. Can Fury keep hold of his championship lead, or can myself and Andy bring that gap down? Can Slingshot Motorsport keep hold of their championship lead, or will myself and Biggs in the shake and bake car be able to bring them down? Can Sutty and Biggs manage to avoid contact with one another? And can Kelly get some decent points? Can he get himself on the podium with these mixed conditions? Anything can happen here at Simplay Motorsport, as you saw in the first race with Ben making a monkey of himself.
Can I have that first win before Lando Norris? Who's going to get it first? I'm driving the McLaren for GT3 Pro, and I'm driving the McLaren for F1. I'm racing Lando Norris to a McLaren win, and my money is still on Lando Norris.
Especially where we're going next for the F1, the next round of.
Phil getting out of the way. Well done, Phil.
Yeah,
I thought he was off, but yeah.
Emplava's pace now has just kind of gone down. He's in the 211s. He's not quite at the pace of Ben and Matt. If anything, Matt's now starting to catch the back of Emplava. Laney bringing that gap down to Dean. He was 3 seconds a lap faster than Dean that last lap, and he's really hunted him down. Again, guys, make sure you tune in Sunday night, as F1 will return, and we will be heading to Monaco. The Prince of Palati.
It'll be a scrapyard into turn 1. There'll be wheels, there'll be wings, there'll be bodies, there'll be carnage, and that'll be just qualifying.
We might be surprised. We might actually have all the cars finish this race, but nonetheless.
You reckon at Monaco? Are you having a laugh?
People have practiced, hopefully so. But the lead is now coming through the lapped traffic. I believe Ben is currently in the final sector now, and again, he's lost a little bit of time there by the looks of things to Emprava. Emprava just bringing that gap down to less than 3 seconds now. Is Ben stuck behind traffic? That's the question.
Well, this is the question.
Laney here looking down the inside of Dean. Dean's gone a little bit wide and he's hit the grass and around he goes. Unlucky there for Dean.
Yes, indeed. And sorry, I'm just trying to. 1996 and was the Monaco Grand Prix in the wet, where very little cars finished, and Olivier Panis was the man who won that race in Monaco in 1996, and I believe it was something like 5 or 6 cars finished that race at Monaco. But as I said, that was in the wet. I don't think there's well, we don't know with Formula One. It's a dynamic setup, so anything can happen on the night. We don't have any pre knowledge to what the weather's going to be. So, but can more cars finish at Monaco at Simplay than they did in that Grand Prix? Well, I reckon it could be a bit of a struggle. You know, I'm going for less than 5 cars finish that one.
Well, I'm going to be a bit more optimistic. I'm going to say 7 cars will finish at Monaco, but
so
nonetheless,
tune in.
Yeah, make sure you do tune in for that one, as Ben Parky has lost a little bit of time to Emprava. Possibly from Smithy holding him up a little bit. Maybe that's what Smithy was trying to do, as Emprava trying to get a toe off the back of that Acura. And can he clear him quicker than Ben did? But at this stage at the minute, it's still a relatively stable all the way round. And Ben at the minute, as long as he doesn't be a plonker again, he looks like he's got this race win in the bag.
Yes, indeed, although Emplava is bringing that gap down, but Smithy's not jumping out of the way, is he? And he doesn't have to. Remember, the endurance rules are that no blue flags. He can defend his position as much as he likes, and most of the drivers do the right thing, as Smithy does there. He gets out of the way, but he didn't jump out of the way. Maybe he's playing the team game. That's fair. You can do that.
Yeah, but Matt's not really close enough to either of these two to really affect them, as N just catches that puddle at the worst spot there, and he managed to survive it. But he comes down the back straight now. Matt running very wide in the background there. Yeah. He's struggling right now, and I think he a 3rd place after not feeling too good, and this is a circuit that he doesn't really enjoy. I think he'll walk away with this pretty happy. He was the faster of the two. Sorry, the faster of the 3 on that lap. So I think Matt can walk away with a race win and a 3rd, and he'd be quite happy with that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good haul of points again. Do you know what I mean? So he's got to be reasonably happy if that's how it pans out for him, for sure. Yeah, you know, the top 3 again. These are the championship contenders. I think this is going to be a fascinating championship to follow all the way to the end, because these guys are so well matched that. And I put Laney in that mix as well. He's had an off day, but those 4 guys are so incredibly well matched. I just think we're in for a cracking race season. The rest of the season, really, Dan, don't you?
Yeah, definitely so, and I reckon as well, I don't think these guys would have had it as much easier if Matt wasn't in that Acura. Obviously, it wasn't his choice to be in the Acura. The admins came together and said, before even Laney, Ben and Emplava all signed up, we said to Matt, if you want to race, you can race in Pro-Am, but you need to do it in a slower car to give the rest of the guys a little bit of a handicap. So we put him in the Acura, which is a car he knows relatively well. And to be honest, even with that handicap, he's on the pace of these two.
Making it work.
He is making it work, and I think we were discussing this not long ago, that the cooler conditions actually doesn't really suit the Mercedes as what he would have picked, or as his teammate Smithy goes round. The car he would have picked was probably the Mercedes, and it wouldn't have been suited for these cooler conditions. And to be honest, I think the Acura is helping in that way. It can handle these colder conditions. So
yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair to say. As Laney is now chasing Smokey down, has he got enough laps to chase him down? He's like 3 seconds off him, so we'll see what he can do by the end of the race. He's only got a couple of laps left when Ben is on lap 14 now, and Emplava within 3 seconds. So yeah, and another lapped car to get through as Bryn is in the background there. Let's get on Emplava as we can see him coming through. Just looking in the comments, PN Motorsport, missed racing you last week, by the way, PN. We were getting close just before I crashed out, and thought we were going to have a race. Yes, it was a race. I watched it. It was 2 hour limit and 62 laps. Yes, it was. I remember watching it. I remember watching it live, and yeah, it was a hell of a race, that one, at Monaco. So that's F1 Sunday nights. We're at Monaco this weekend, so come and watch a more exciting Monaco Grand Prix than you've ever seen before.
Definitely. So make sure you tune in for that one as well. 15 people currently watching us. Get your votes in for a driver of the day. As we are coming towards the end, it's very difficult to choose from. There's been some very good drives from most of the people from here tonight, and especially from the top three. But I'm going to look more down towards the lower end of the group, who's had a solid day. But Kelly, nonetheless, these three, Ben, Emprava and Matt, have put on a great show this evening, and all three of them show they badly want this title.
Absolutely, Daniel, and as I said, there's four contenders in this championship, really, but it's got to be said, the quality of Pro-Am this year has got so much better. Do you know what I mean? Some of the guys who were struggling with consistency and racecraft certainly seem to be getting better and better week for week, as we see Laney has brought that gap down.
He's lost it all.
Sorry again, Laney. Sorry, dude. Oh, and he's doing donuts now.
Oh my god! So, it's because it's Laney Massey isn't here to support him. All his friends have decided to go to the pub without him. So as Ben goes through that puddle's getting worse and worse. Even his teammate, he's gone to Tesco's to pick up some Corona.
Yeah, absolutely. Just sit and have a drink with the Laney Massive. They're all sitting in a pub watching Laney do the hard work.
Emprava lost a lot of time that lap with 2:14. Matt's got a little bit closer to him, but it is the last lap here, and unless Emprava makes another mistake, I don't think Matt's going to quite get him on this one.
No, I think there's a steady gap between these top three. Have been so consistent, Dan, haven't they? You know, boringly so consistent. Do you know what I mean? That they've just kept a steady gap between each other, and no one's had a real advantage. You know, so it's really frustrating when you're in a position like that where you can't kind of bring down the gap to the car in front of you, or you know.
Laney's caught Smokey again. Laney's got Smokey. I don't know if Smokey's made a mistake, but
hang on,
that's probably why.
Oh, that's somebody round. Who's that?
That's that Lamborghini of Stealth Sloth.
Stealth, yeah, I was going to say it's either Stealth or Welshie.
I believe DJ Phil
was. Comes Smokey.
Smokey's in the pits. Dean spun it. What's happened to Dean?
Oh, I was just saying about the great driving standards of Pro-Am this year, wasn't I? Yeah, the commentator's curse, it is real.
So hopefully that's going to help Welshie possibly get another place up past Smokey. If Smokey's got big damage, I think Smokey's coming back out, unless Smokey was on the wets at the start and is only now pitted. So that's the question.
Yeah. Interesting to pit. We'll never quite know, but interesting to pit at that time. As we see Ben Parkey, pretty faultless race. Get your votes in for driver of the day. This is a tough one tonight, isn't it, Dan?
It is a tough one.
So many good drives.
I've got a few in mind, as Emprava says that his goes to Matt Ahimovic for this one.
How has he got time to text?
Who?
Oh, I thought you said
sorry,
Emprava had done it.
PN Motorsport. But Ben exits the final corner now. Ben Parkey is on his way to win race 2 here at Bruno. So congratulations to Ben on a race win. Emprava is going to come home to take third, even though Matt has just caught him to the very end. So it's Emprava for second. Matt will take third. He'll be happy with that. Solid points here for a track he doesn't like. DJ Phil in the background coming to the end as well. Laney has managed to get the rest of them, but it's Bryn who crossed the line just now. Bryn's crossed the line to finish in 8th. I believe Smithy will be coming across the line in 9th place position now. So congratulations to Smithy on finishing the race, and nonetheless these guys have put on a great show with these wet conditions, and Laney coming through the final sector now. If the top 3 are listening, we want to get you into the commentary box as quickly as we possibly can, but Laney now coming to score some points here for 4th place. Got kind of lucky towards the end there, but he will come home in that 4th place position. And Kelly, I've got to come to you. We've got to ask the difficult question. Your driver of the day tonight.
You know, they're so tough tonight, Dan. It really is, because I think certainly the top 3 have been so good tonight, and so incredibly awesome dogfight type racing with very little contact. But on results alone, I think I'm going to have to give it to Ben Parky.
Well, yours goes the way of Ben Parky. I'm gonna go the way of Emplava. He seems to me to be stepping up each round. We know the level of driving from Ben and Matt, and considering we know very little about Emplava, I'm gonna give him a driver of the day. He's really starting to bring the fight to these two. We've already got a vote for Matt for PN Motorsport. Smithy in the comments saying Okura ain't quite like the same in the Porsche in the wet, so
no, it's
a shame.
not
For him, but we have got the top three in with us now, and we'll start with Matt. And Matt, not quite what you wanted in race 2, but I reckon with you not feeling too well as well, you got to walk away from Bruno, a circuit that you don't really like, and think to yourself, a podium and a race win, that's not too bad considering.
Nice, it's great, absolutely fantastic, top of over the moon with that, and yeah, no, good race.
Well done to you. Just quickly as well, Ben Parky does take the fastest lap, so an extra point for him as well. Go on, Kelly.
Yeah, Matt, you had a cracking start. Things seemed to open up for you, and you had made so many positions in the first couple of laps. Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, made good start. Got up the inside of Emplava. I don't know who was on his outside. There was a bit of contact between me and him. Nothing major. Gave me a bit of aero damage, and like an idiot, I clipped the tyre wall coming through the end of the first lap, so I had quite a bit of aero on lap 1. But no, the gaps just seemed to open up, and me and Em just seemed to sort of dance our way through the field a little bit there on that first lap.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, good drive from all you guys. Steady one there, where everyone was on a similar kind of lap times, weren't they?
Yeah, it seemed to ebb and flow a little bit there, Kelly. When
it did. I did say it ebbed and flowed a little bit there. Do you know what I mean? And in your pit stops, you came in front of Emplava, but came out behind. Did you do damage repair as well at that time?
Yeah, I had 14 aero, and Emplava was catching me like mad before the pit stops, and it was a case of, if I don't repair this, I'm not going to challenge him. Repair it, see what I can do. I was catching them at the end. Just wasn't to be, you know. And well done to the top. Well done to En and Ben for the race win in the second place.
Absolutely.
Well, Matt, you leave Bruno with kind of your head held high. You get rid of this flu, hopefully. We then move to Fuji and a circuit of two halves, really. A kind of a like a chassis final sector, but a very fast first sector. How do you think you're going to get on at Fuji?
Home track for the Acura, isn't it? So, well, for the Honda, if you will. So, yeah, I'll be making sure to do everything there next week. I'm looking forward to Fuji because I do enjoy Fuji over Bruno. No, really looking forward to that one. I think that one's going to be a cracking race. We'll have to see how it goes. Like I said to you last week, I felt quicker in the straight lines than I did in the corners at Hockenheim, so we'll see what happens next week. But no, looking forward to it, and just looking forward to the rest of the season because the battle with Ben and Emplava at the minute is fantastic, and this is what you want to see. And hopefully, hopefully the guys and girls who are watching are enjoying the racing that we're putting on.
Well,
for sure.
Congratulations on the win and the podium as well. And
cheers, boys.
Just one quick question: are you looking forward to Monaco?
I said Sunday off air I was looking forward to Monaco more than here. I've come away and enjoyed tonight. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
But nonetheless, mate, good luck for Monaco, and we'll hear you tomorrow night in the commentary box for the pros.
Indeed, Joe. Well done to En and Ben as well.
We then move on to Emplava, and mate, it's been a solid night. You've been on the podium twice tonight. You had one fastest lap in the race before. I think you're really starting to gel with this Audi. You're really starting to take the fight to it. How was that race for you?
It was a really nice race. Unfortunately, I made a few mistakes in the rain at the end, so I couldn't catch Ben. But yeah, the rest of the race was really good for me.
There was a couple of stages where it looked like you seemed to have the more pace over Ben. It was like every now and then you would just take a bit of lap out of him here, there, and everywhere, and then it just suddenly just went out of nowhere. Was it just a couple of spins, a little instances with yourself, or was it the lap traffic as well?
I think the tires were gone at the end. I was braking at the same times, and I was at the beginning of the race, so I just caught that I'm braking too late, basically.
Fair enough. Well, we now head towards Fuji for round 5. Is it a circuit you've driven? Is it a circuit that you like? And what do you expect to head to Japan to race at the Fuji circuit?
I have raced there, but not too much, so I don't know what to really expect. From what I'm driven, I enjoy the circuit. It's pretty similar to Brno, so but with a longer straight, so I think it will suit the car and me.
For sure. Any questions, Kelly?
Yeah, no, sorry. I was reading some of the streams. Sorry there, Dan. I haven't got any questions. I'd just like to say great driving tonight again. And did you feel that when you joined this series that you were going to be quite this competitive, or has it come as a shock to you?
It really came a shock to me. I joined and I thought in the first season I'll just see how it is. Maybe get some good points, maybe some podiums, but I didn't expect to get the podium basically every week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, a nice surprise, eh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I can keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. We hope so.
Keep the momentum going into Fuji, but congratulations on a great night tonight, mate, and we will see you at the Fuji circuit.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers.
And then we move on to the race winner. This time he isn't a plonker. He hasn't dropped it all on his own on the final lap on the last corner. Ben, you finally got the race win. Congratulations,
He's
mate.
not here. He's not in.
Oh,
is he not in? Oh, no.
No.
Okay, he must.
I thought he was, but nonetheless, Ben's gone. But if he is listening, congratulations to him. Well done to him. And he's not a plonker for that one. So
No.
there's me. I made myself look like an idiot there. Now I'm the plonker. But here's a quick rundown of the tables. Thanks to Kieran for updating them while we were having that conversation. And it is still Matt who leads the way, but Emprava has brought that gap down to 15 points. Matt leads with 165. Emprava with 150. Both have taken their double points. It's getting tight between those two. Ben Parkey in third with 120 points, 45 behind, and still yet to use his double points. Fourth place is Laney. He's somewhat within reach, and again, he's still used his double points. He can get himself back into this fight. 69 points behind Matt. Fifth place goes the way of Ugbar. He's now moved ahead of Smithy, and Smithy in sixth place position. Smoky Devil in seventh with 68 points, 97 off the lead. Eighth goes the way of Welshie MC Motorsport. Lamborghini in sixth with 62 points, 103 off. Dean Wasocki in ninth with his teammate Bryn, both on 51 and 48 points. And Stealthsoft in 11th place with 44 points. 12th is DJ Phil with 34. Nicky, too busy shopping tonight to race. He is in 13th place and with 30 points. I'm not going to talk about the others because they're not even here. I'm not going to waste my time with them. But no, the team looks like this. Sweet and Sour Motorsport extend their gap once again. 237 points, 87 ahead of Emprava with 150 points in second place. Team Prolapse in third with 126, with the outer side teammate Rainbow Prolapse of Ben Parkey on his own, only 6 points behind them with 120 points. MC Motorsport in that fifth place position with 106 points. Sixth place with Not Fast Just Furious. BMW with 99 points. Sixth place of the way is Metal and Racing for Ugbar. Smoky Devil Racing in just behind them, and Powerline Racing bringing up the rear with 34 points. Kelly, Bruno is done. We've done round 4. Race 1 was exciting, hectic and fun, but race 2 wasn't quite the excitement we were expecting.
No, and I'll tell you what, Dan, this season at Simplay, for here and for Pro, is just all action in both the categories, and it's fantastic to watch. Been an absolute pleasure to commentate on that racing this evening. Some great racing. I'm pretty glad I'm not in Pro-Am this season. I don't think I would have had the success with these quick guys in there, although I'm not so happy about being in Pro. So tune in tomorrow night and see if I can get it off the back of the grid, and if Dan can keep it in the front of the grid. And you know, the normal service resumed. One Davis at the front, one Davis at the back, and Sunday night and PN Motorsport. Yes, you are right, McLaren versus Ferrari. That's the way it should be. And again, see who can make it round Monaco on Sunday night. And look forward, we have an endurance coming up in just a few weeks' time, and see if the mighty Ben Parkey can go against the mighty Unorthodubs for another round of LMP2-ness in a couple of weeks' time. So Simplay's the place to be.
Yeah, can Ben extend his lead in the World Endurance? Can Mazda outdo Andy in the GTEs? Can Andy and Fury keep the lead over myself in the Pro? All those answers will be questioned very shortly. And also, what chaos will head our way in Monaco? Will there be rain around for that? Is there rain around for tomorrow night? That is the question. But for myself, from Kelly and all the Pro-Am guys, it's a good night from us, and we will see you in a week's time in Fuji. Good night.
Good night.
Yep, alright.
Woo! You're dead, aren't you, Matt?